Chapter 305. Millions of tribesmen seemed like a lot, but for a race, it was too little. Moreover, the strongest person in the race was only at level 4. From this, it could be seen that the green turtle race was definitely the weakest race among the 10,000 races. They were even weaker than the human race. Su Chen couldn't help but look down on the green turtle race. Alright, I've said what I needed to say. Give me a quick death. Seeing that Su Chen wasn't saying anything, the tall green turtle race tribesman took the initiative to ask for death. Su Chen sneered. Are you in such a hurry to die? Isn't it good to live? The tall green turtle race tribesman gritted his teeth and cursed in his heart. Who the hell wants to die? Who am I to decide whether to die or not? The main reason he wanted to die was that he was afraid of being tortured by Su Chen again. Hurry up and do it, the tall green turtle race tribesman urged. There's no hurry. There's one more thing. Once I confirm it, I'll send you on your way. Su Chen chuckled and continued asking, Has your chief come out? No, the tall green turtle race tribesman said bluntly. As the chief of a race, a single move would affect the entire situation. Although the human race was weak in their eyes, they wouldn't let their chief take the risk without knowing the specific situation. Su Chen was slightly disappointed. If the chief of the green turtle race was here, he could have killed him. If that happened, the green turtle race would be in chaos. Su Chen had asked all the questions he needed to ask. He was very trustworthy. He punched the head of the tall green turtle race tribesman. The moment the tall green turtle race tribesman fell, a black beam of light flashed. Su Chen grabbed it. Picked up Xianxia Divine Sword, Fragment X1, 250. Fragment not enough, cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. Exchanged for energy points. The Xianxia Divine Sword had dropped when he killed the blood plant. After that, it hadn't appeared. Without enough fragments, Su Chen didn't know what the Xianxia Divine Sword was used for. However, the fact that he needed 50 fragments was enough to prove that it was at least a divine weapon. Su Chen was determined to get the Xianxia Divine Sword. The reason why he exchanged this fragment for energy points was because he wanted to use energy points to exchange for it. After a while, he walked towards the other fragments. The green tortoise tribesman that Wu Yang and the others had killed had also dropped 3 fragments. There was no reason not to pick them up. Su Chen reached out and grabbed a yellow fragment. Picked up Eternal Youth Fruit, Fragment X1, 210. Fragment not full, cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. The Fruit of Eternal Youth didn't require a lot of them, and the difficulty of collecting them was much lower. Moreover, it was something that Su Chen was determined to obtain, so he naturally wasn't willing to exchange for it. Next, he grabbed a purple fragment. Picked up Northern Ice Fragment, *1. 5/10. Fragment is not full, so it cannot be used. It can be exchanged for energy points. Northern Frost Ice was a materialization of the ice element, and it could increase the power of the ice element. Of course, he had to keep it. The last fragment was black. Su Chen didn't hesitate and grabbed it. Picked up Earth Vein Fire Meteor, Fragment X1, 10/10. Fragment is full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Su Chen was very excited. After saying that, he opened the storage bag and checked. When he saw that there was a red stone of the same size beside the Big Dipper Star Fragment stone, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. Chapter 306. Through the feedback, Su Chen learned that the Earth Vein Fire Meteorite weighed 5,000 kilograms, the same as the Big Dipper Star Fragment stone. The difference was that the Big Dipper Star Fragment stone had the power of the stars and could produce a binding force. The Earth Vein Fire Meteorite possessed the scorching effect of the earth fire, which was similar to the effect of fire magic spells. After picking up the shards, Su Chen walked up to Han Feng and asked with a smile, "Brother Han, what do you plan to do next?" Han Feng came back to his senses and shook his head blankly. Originally, he had wanted to settle down in Vajra City. However, Vajra City had been conquered by the Green Turtle tribe, and he had escaped from there. As for where he would go in the future, he had no plan at all. It was not that he did not want to, but it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to find a stable place to live in the apocalypse. Su Chen thought for a moment and said, "You should go to Fengxi settlement. Their leader is my friend." Hearing this, Han Feng's eyes lit up. He had heard of a wind-type settlement before. Although it was only a small settlement, the atmosphere there was very good. Their leader was a very responsible and capable person. It could be said that it was a very good place for Han Feng to settle down. Moreover, with Su Chen's relationship, he would not be stopped from joining Fengxi settlement. He would even be put in an important position. "Su Chen, thank you so much." Han Feng thanked sincerely. Speaking of which, he had only met Su Chen twice. The first time, Su Chen had given him food. This time, Su Chen had saved him. Han Feng did not know what to say to express his gratitude to Su Chen. Su Chen waved his hand and said casually, "All right, you guys hurry up. I still have to go to Vajra City." There were still 10,000 Green Turtle tribe members waiting to be killed in Vajra City. He could not wait. "Su Chen, you're not going to kill the mutated people, are you?" Han Feng's expression changed as he tried to sound him out. Su Chen and the others were very strong, but there were thousands of mutated people in Vajra City. The mutated people were much stronger than the zombies. Wouldn't it be suicide to go there rashly? Su Chen smiled and did not explain. He only said, "When you reach Fengxi settlement, say that you're my friend. They will treat you well." After saying this, Su Chen led everyone back to the intelligent chariot. He said goodbye to Han Feng and left. Seeing the intelligent war chariot disappear from his sight, Han Feng fell silent. At this time, Su came forward and whispered, "What should we do?" Han Feng gritted his teeth. "Let's go to King Kong City as well." In his opinion, Su Chen's trip to Vajra City was most likely not Fengxi. Although his strength was low, he was still a level 1 evolver, so he could at least contribute some strength. Of course, he also knew that he might lose his life in this trip. But no matter what, his life was saved by Su Chen. It was reasonable for him to go and help. More than an hour later, the intelligent chariot slowly approached Vajra City. At this time, Vajra City's former grandeur was gone. The entire city was shrouded in a layer of blood-red fog. It was heavy and oppressive. Mournful screams and crazy shouts could be heard faintly. There was no doubt that Vajra City was facing a disaster. Su Chen stood in front of the chariot and looked around. He saw that there were not only a large number of Green Turtle tribe members around Vajra City, but also thousands of zombies. He knew that the Green Turtle tribe had the ability to control zombies. It was obvious that the Green Turtle tribe had gathered some zombies around and attacked Vajra City together. "Prepare for battle. Kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive," Su Chen said in a low voice. Chapter 307. The intelligent chariot sped up and headed toward the city gate. Most of the Green Tortoise people and zombies were gathered at the city gate. It was the best place to hunt. The arrival of the intelligent chariot quickly attracted the attention of the other party. Suddenly, a large number of Green Tortoise people and zombies rushed over. "Satoshi, stop," Su Chen ordered. When the intelligent chariot stopped, he was the first to rush out. The others followed closely behind Su Chen and got out of the chariot one after another. According to the previous plan, they did not fight alone this time. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian teamed up. Both of them were level 3 evolvers, so they would not have a problem even if they were to fight against the Green Tortoise people. The remaining people formed a large team. Tan Lin and the other 2 girls used the pulse pistol to shoot from afar. Yang Hao and the 3 mutated wolves were in charge of defense. Su Chen and the mechanical soldiers were too strong, so they killed the enemies alone. Soon, the 2 sides clashed fiercely. As Su Chen and the others attacked, the Green Tortoise people and zombies who rushed forward first fell in droves. Then the intelligent chariot also activated its killing mode. Ta-ta-ta, did-it-bang, boom. Ungraded Gatling gun, level 2 pulse cannon, and magnetic storm net were all unleashed, harvesting lives like harvesting wheat. In the blink of an eye, thousands of zombies and Green Tortoise people were killed. At the city gate, there was a sea of blood. It was like purgatory. Su Chen was in the mood to kill. He rushed to the city gate alone with his sword. Anyone who tried to stop him was cut in half. Whether it was zombies or green tortoise people, no one was a match for him. They all became ghosts under his sword. Gradually, Su Chen killed thousands of zombies and green tortoise tribesmen on his own. His hunting speed was not much slower than the intelligent war chariot. The green tortoise people joined forces with dozens of elites to kill Su Chen, but they were all killed by Su Chen with a single slash. Seeing this, all of the green tortoise tribe members were terrified. Although they had a large number of people and tens of thousands of zombies to assist them, they did not have the slightest bit of courage to fight against Su Chen, who was a killing god. Su Chen's strength had completely exceeded their understanding. It also made them realize that numbers were just a concept in front of a true powerhouse. No matter how many of them there were, they wouldn't be able to withstand a single slash. After realizing this, the few remaining powerhouses of the green tortoise tribe started to make plans. If they continued to stay here, they would definitely be slaughtered. They had to leave as soon as possible. After some discussion, they decided to let the zombies block Su Chen and the others while they led their clansmen to escape. All of a sudden, the zombies, whether they were outside the city or inside the city, gathered together and charged toward Su. For a moment, Su Chen was drowned by the zombie tide. However, the ancient god-fiend body was immune to all attacks of the same level. Furthermore, the highest level among the zombies was only level 2. Wanting to hurt Su Chen was no different from wishful thinking. Moreover, the zombies were all gathered together, which made it easier to kill them. Su Chen kept casting spells. Every spell would kill hundreds of zombies. However, although his killing speed was fast, there were still more than 10,000 zombies. It was impossible to kill all of them in a short time. The green tortoise tribe members took advantage of the time when Su Chen was trapped to escape in one direction. Naturally, Su Chen would not let them escape. He raised his voice and shouted to Wu Yang, "Captain Wu, stop the zombies. I'll go after the turtles." Wu Yang did not say anything and rushed forward with his men. Su Chen used the Pegasus Meteor Punch to kill all the zombies in front of him. Then, he activated the Rapid Combat Boots and chased after the Green Tortoise tribe members. Chapter 308. Behind them, a very strange scene appeared on the vast plain. Thousands of Green Tortoise tribesmen were killed by Su Chen alone. Their corpses were strewn all over the place. It was a tragic sight. At the same time, Han Feng arrived in his MCV. When he saw the scene in front of him, he was completely petrified. At this moment, he didn't know what words to use to describe Su Chen's strength. Su Chen is too strong. Do we still have to go there? After a long time, Su Meihua walked to Han Feng's side and said with a trembling voice. Han Feng came back to his senses and took a deep breath. "Let's go to the Fengxi colony." Seeing Su Chen killing everyone, he couldn't help much if he stayed here. He turned the MCV around and drove toward the Fengxi colony. On the other side, Su Chen was still hunting the green turtles. The green turtles saw that the situation was not good and scattered to escape. This also caused Su Chen to be unable to kill them all. In the end, hundreds of them escaped. Considering that there were still a lot of fragments to pick up, he didn't chase after them. He also didn't plan to help Wu Yang. There were only a few thousand zombies left. With the intelligent chariot, it wouldn't take long to kill them all. Su Chen stood in place and glanced around. Soon, thousands of colorful light beams appeared in his sight. Seeing this, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. He sighed and said, "It's still better to kill the aliens." There were only 7,000 or 8,000 green turtles killed, but more than 1,000 fragments dropped. The probability of fragments dropping was still very high. If it were the same number of zombies, at most 700 or 800 fragments would drop. There was a big gap between the two. After a while, Su Chen sighed and started to pick up fragments. An hour later, he finished picking up more than 1,000 fragments and returned to the gate of King Kong City. Wu Yang and the others had killed all the zombies and were now digging for energy stones. Su Chen greeted everyone and squinted his eyes as he scanned the surroundings. There were about 1,000 fragments here, and he was looking for purple gold fragments. Almost all the fragments he had picked up earlier had been exchanged for energy points. The total number of energy points had exceeded 9,000. If he could get his hands on a purple gold fragment, his energy points would break through the 10,000 mark. Then, he would be able to exchange for the through heaven hundredfold great strength technique that he had coveted for a long time. Soon, Su Chen discovered that there was a purple gold fragment near the city gate. A surge of excitement suddenly surged in his heart. Then, he excitedly ran forward and grabbed the purple gold fragment. Picked up 2,000 energy points, fragment *111. The fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. After saying that, Su Chen hurriedly started to check the Doomsday Shopping Center. When he saw that the energy points had reached 11,026 points, he laughed wantonly. Wu Yang and the others were already accustomed to this, and they withdrew their gazes and continued to dig for energy stones. Su Chen was not in a hurry to exchange for the through heaven hundredfold great strength technique. He calmed himself down and continued to pick up fragments. With this purple gold fragment as a foundation, he did not care about the remaining fragments, regardless of their quality. Picked up Level 3 Constitution Potion, fragment *111. The fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Picked up Potato Seed, fragment *111. The fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Exchange for energy points. Chapter 309. Su Chen sat in the driver's seat and seemed to be resting with his eyes closed. In fact, he had opened the Doomsday Mall to check. The fragments that he had just picked up had basically been exchanged for energy points. Now, he had a total of 12,000 energy points. He could already exchange for one of the Heavenly 100x Strength Technique, Illusionary Blaze Feather Divine Dragon, Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword, and 10,000 Lights Fighting Technique. As for the Blade of Divine Sense, War God Armor, and Xinyuan Divine Sword, he could exchange for two of them. Su Chen hesitated for a moment and spent 10,000 energy points to exchange for the Heavenly 100x Strength Technique. After the exchange, the feedback was quickly transmitted to his mind. The Heavenly 100x Strength Technique was the same as the Ancient God-Demon Body. The difference was that the Ancient God-Demon Body tempered the physical body, while the Heavenly 100x Strength Technique increased one's strength. The extent of the increase was 100 times of one's strength. For example, if Su Chen could carry 50 kilograms of weight after using the Heavenly 100x Strength Technique, he could carry 10,000 kilograms of weight. Of course, with Su Chen's strength as a level 4 evolver, he could carry at least 500 kilograms of weight. Correspondingly, after using the Heavenly 100x Strength Technique, his strength would reach a terrifying 100,000 kilograms. Now, he could casually use the Big Dipper Star Fragment Stone and Earth Vein Fire Meteorite to smash people. Without a doubt, after obtaining the Heavenly 100x Strength Technique, Su Chen's strength had greatly increased. He had once again taken a big step forward on the path of invincibility. Awesome! Su Chen clenched his fists, unable to hide his excitement. After a long time, he calmed down and looked at the central control screen. He began to search for the whereabouts of zombies and mutant beasts. Unfortunately, there was not a single red dot on the central control screen. The Intelligent War Chariot's detection range was 200 kilometers, which meant that there were no zombies or mutant beasts within 200 kilometers. Without zombies to kill, he would not be able to obtain fragments. Su Chen would definitely not be satisfied. After pondering for a while, he turned his attention to the Green Turtle clan. The Green Tortoise tribesmen who had escaped earlier must have fled back to the mines in the Huangzi mountain range. Furthermore, there was a passageway leading to the Green Turtle tribe in the mine. That interrealm passageway was of utmost importance to the Green Turtle race. In that case, if he wanted to destroy this realm passage, would the Green Turtle tribe come out to stop him? The Green Turtle tribe had millions of people. How could they just watch as the realm passage was destroyed? At that time, he would be able to hunt down another group of Green Turtle tribe members. Thinking of this, The corners of Su Chen's mouth curled up. Then he ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, go to the mine in the Huangzi Mountains. Got it. The intelligent war chariot was ignited, and its target was the Huangzi mountain range. Vajra City was more than 1,000 miles away from the Huangzi mountain range. Even with the speed of the intelligent war chariot, it would still take nearly 10 hours. Su Chen wasn't in a hurry. After all, the Green Turtle tribe couldn't run away. With this period of time as a buffer, everyone could take a break. After that, Su Chen took out the omnipotent pressure cooker and the omnipotent oven and started to prepare food. It didn't matter whether it was time to eat or not. After such a big battle, he had to replenish his food. Chapter 310. An hour later, when the intelligent war chariot was about to reach the mine, Su Chen found on the central control screen that the location of the mine pit was surrounded by a large number of red and black dots. He thought that the Green Tortoise tribe was working with the zombies again. However, when he approached the mine, he found that it was not the case. There were thousands of Green Tortoise tribe members gathered at the edge of the mine, but there were no zombies. Instead, there were thousands of mutant beasts. How did the Green Tortoise tribe get together with the mutant beasts? Everyone was puzzled. Su Chen suddenly remembered that a few days ago, when the tide of beasts and zombies broke out here, the zombies and mutant beasts were working together. Now, he could not help but think that the Green Tortoise tribe was controlling the zombies and mutant beasts. Su Chen, what should we do? Wu Yang asked. The Green Tortoise tribe and the mutant beasts seemed to be prepared, and he could not help but be vigilant. Although Su Chen found it strange, he was not afraid at all. He said to the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, drive over there and take a look. The intelligent war chariot drove straight ahead. When it was about 10 meters away from the Green Tortoise tribe, it stopped this time. Just in case, Su Chen asked the others to stay in the chariot while he got out with the mechanical soldiers. It's just as I expected. Human, you've finally come to die. As soon as Su Chen got out of the chariot, a dark Green Tortoise tribe member walked out from the Green Tortoise tribe opposite him and shouted at Su Chen. Su Chen rubbed his nose and looked at the other party. He said calmly, "You are the chief of the Green Tortoise tribe, right?" Since he could call himself king, he must have a high status in the Green Tortoise tribe. Therefore, he suspected that he was the chief of the Green Tortoise tribe. "Boy, I am the chief of the Green Tortoise tribe." The dark Green Tortoise tribe member replied proudly. Then he smiled darkly and said, "Boy, let's see how you can escape from me this time." As soon as he finished speaking, he signaled with his eyes. The Green Tortoise tribesmen around him rushed forward and surrounded Su Chen and the intelligent war chariot. Su Chen was a little confused by the Green Turtle tribe's arrogance and fearlessness. Logically speaking, they should be aware of the methods he had used to kill the Green Turtle race and the zombies. Then why did the other party still dare to do this? Did they think that with a level 4 evolutionary as their clan leader, they could easily bully him? Although he was doubtful, Su did not take it to heart. He sneered and said, "You want to kill me with just a bunch of shrimps?" The Green Turtle patriarch snorted and said coldly, "I have to admit that you are indeed very strong. However, you are too arrogant. You don't know that there is always someone better than you. There are many people in this world who can kill you. Hee hee." As soon as he finished speaking, a cold and eerie laugh came from behind him. Then, a middle-aged man with dark skin and a body like a dead tree slowly walked forward. Su Chen's eyebrows twitched when he felt a layer of death aura around him. He asked, "Are you from the undead tribe?" When he was in Etian City, he had killed 3 undead tribe members. The middle-aged man in front of him was very similar to the 3 undead tribe members in terms of appearance and aura. "Boy, how do you know about the undead tribe?" The middle-aged man's brows furrowed deeply, and his pair of gloomy and cold eyes kept darting around. Su Chen curled his lips and laughed. "Not only have I seen them, but I have also killed 3. However, they were too weak. They were only level 3. You should be stronger than them, right?" Chapter 311. Hearing this, the undead tribe member's face twitched. He gritted his teeth and roared, Human, you've completely infuriated me. I'll make you beg for death later. As one of the 5 great races, they had always been the ones who killed people from other races wantonly. When had they ever been killed by others? Moreover, the one who killed their people was a weak human. This was even more unbearable for him. At this moment, he secretly swore that he would skin this human in front of him to relieve the hatred in his heart. Do you only know how to talk? I'll stand here and wait for you. Come and kill me if you can. Su Chen hooked his finger and sneered contemptuously. Don't worry, I'll definitely kill you, but I'm not in a hurry. The undead tribe member snorted and turned to look at the green turtle tribe leader. The latter nodded slightly and then began to mutter. Not long after, a huge pressure rushed out from the mine pit. Then, with a tremor, a green turtle the size of a small mountain crawled out from the mine pit. Dong dong. After a few tremors, the big turtle crawled to the side of the green turtle tribe leader. Ah, my tribe's sacred beast is here. Human, this time I'll definitely suppress you completely. The green turtle tribe leader laughed wildly. That arrogant look made it seem as if the appearance of this sacred beast turtle had foretold Su Chen's death. A mere level 5 mutated beast is your trump card? Su Chen sneered. It was not like he had never seen a level 5 mutated beast before. In the pet breeding space, there was a heavenly overlord turtle that he had subdued. If he were to release him at this time, he wondered what the other party would think. Arrogant. The green turtle tribe leader scolded and turned to the sacred beast turtle. He said respectfully, Lord Sacred Beast, please kill this arrogant human. The sacred beast turtle stared coldly at Su Chen. It did not hide the murderous intent in its eyes. Su Chen's previous words had completely infuriated it. As a sacred beast, its dignity could not be blasphemed. Woo woo. Suddenly, the turtle let out a muffled roar. The roar didn't sound like anything special, but when the mutant beasts heard it, they rushed towards Su Chen as if they had received an order. So, these mutant beasts are under the control of this big turtle. Su Chen suddenly realized something and swept out his blade. In an instant, a gray wave of air appeared in front of the blade and rushed into the group of mutated beasts. Poochie, poochie, sounds of flesh being penetrated could be heard continuously. The hundreds of mutated beasts at the front were all cut in half and died on the spot. Seeing this, the expressions of the undead race and the green turtle race's patriarch became unsightly. They had long known that Su Chen was very powerful. However, he definitely did not expect that he would be so powerful. He could kill hundreds of mutated beasts with a single slash. His strength was almost on par with a level 5 cultivator. Moreover, they also judged that Su Chen was most likely a level 4 evolver and a level 4 spellcaster. They had seen many level 4 cultivators with a single profession, but they had never heard of a level 4 cultivator with 2 professions. I'm afraid we are no match for this guy, the undead race muttered with a serious expression. Su Chen's previous slash had made him feel a sense of trepidation. He also knew that there was no way he could block this slash with his own skills. In the field, the only one who could suppress Su Chen was the level 5 sacred beast turtle. The green turtle race's patriarch understood what he meant. He turned to the sacred beast turtle and pleaded, Lord Sacred Beast, please do it yourself. Chapter 312. Roar. The sacred beast tortoise raised its head and roared, releasing a terrifying pressure once again. Some of the green tortoise tribesmen who were close to the tortoise were swayed from side to side, and the mutated beasts were inexplicably frightened and trembling. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked at the sacred beast tortoise. He thought to himself, should I kill this big tortoise and barbecue it? Or make soup? After all, he had not eaten the meat of a level 5 mutated beast before, so he was still looking forward to it. Dong dong. At this moment, the sacred beast tortoise rushed towards Su Chen. Although its body was huge, its speed was extremely fast. It appeared in front of Su Chen in the blink of an eye and raised a big claw to slap Su Chen's head. Su Chen stood still on the spot. Just as the sacred beast tortoise's claw was about to slap him, a bright golden light flashed on his arm. Immediately he grabbed upwards. Overestimating himself. A mantis trying to stop a chariot. Seeing this, the Green Tortoise tribe leader and the undead tribesmen were wild with joy. Su Chen did not dodge. Choosing to fight the sacred beast tortoise head-on was tantamount to suicide. The level 5 sacred beast tortoise was extremely powerful. How could a human cultivator resist it? Moreover, Su Chen was only a level 4 evolver, which was one level lower than the sacred beast tortoise. It was even more impossible for him to be a match for the sacred beast tortoise. At this moment, the Green Tortoise tribe leader and the undead tribesmen regarded Su Chen as a dead man. However, the next moment, the two of them were completely dumbfounded. They saw that not only was Su Chen not killed by the claw, but after blocking the attack, he raised the sacred beast tortoise above his head with one hand. What was going on? The sacred beast tortoise weighed tens of thousands of pounds. How could it be lifted into the air with one hand? Were their eyes playing tricks on them? Or were they dreaming? This strange situation was not only incomprehensible to the Green Tortoise tribe leader and the undead tribesmen, but even Wu Yang and the others in the car were so shocked that they could not close their mouths. How strong was Su Chen to be able to lift a mutant beast that weighed tens of thousands of pounds with one hand? Su Chen was a human, not a god of strength. How did he do it? Boom! With a violent crash, Su Chen threw the sacred beast tortoise to the ground, directly smashing a deep hole in the ground. Witnessing this unbelievable scene, the surroundings suddenly fell into a strange silence. Everyone's jaws dropped. Their expressions were blank as if they had been petrified. Su Chen's action of throwing the sacred beast tortoise to the ground gave them an unprecedented psychological impact. At this moment, there was only one thought in their minds. Su Chen wasn't human. He was a god with infinite strength. Chen Gu is too strong. Yang Hao swallowed his saliva and murmured. Shi Danyu and Chao Ran also agreed, strong to the point of reaching the heavens, awesome to the extreme. Although Wu Yang did not speak, his heart was in turmoil. Su Chen was improving every time he fought, and this time, he was even more shocked. What was invincible? Only a strong person like Su Chen was worthy of the word invincible. On the other side, the sacred beast tortoise lay sprawled in the deep crater, its huge head hanging down. At this moment, it was dizzy from the fall. It had mixed feelings in its heart. There was confusion, shame, and deep fear. It could not understand why a level 5 mutant beast like itself could not even resist in front of a human and was thrown to the ground like a dead dog. The undead tribesman came to his senses and looked at the Green Tortoise tribe leader. The two of them seemed to have a tacit understanding and turned to flee toward the mine at the same time. You want to leave now? Can you make it in time? The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly. He instantly activated the rapid boots and chased after him like a whirlwind. Chapter 3:13. After activating the rapid combat boots, Su Chen's speed had completely surpassed that of a level 5 evolved being. In just a few breaths, he had already caught up with the patriarch of the Green Turtle tribe. Fight it out with him. Seeing that they could not escape, the undead tribe member turned around and threw a punch at Su Chen. This punch was not simple as it was surrounded by a thick death aura. It was the undead tribe's natal corpse poison. However, Su Chen had the ancient god-fiend body and was immune to all poisons and evil. This little bit of corpse poison could not do anything to him at all. At this moment, the Green Turtle tribe member also turned around and slashed at Su Chen with his sword. Facing the attacks of two powerhouses of the same level, Su Chen did not dodge and allowed the sword and fist to hit his body. There were two loud bangs. The undead tribe member's fist and the Green Turtle tribe leader's sword hit Su Chen accurately, but they were strangely bounced off. The ancient god-fiend body was immune to all attacks of the same level. How would the two of them know this? The undead tribe member widened his eyes and stared at Su Chen as if he had seen a ghost. He really didn't understand why his powerful attack, coupled with the help of his life origin corpse poison, couldn't even hurt Su Chen a little bit. The Green Turtle tribe leader next to him was even more frightened and trembled all over. Just as they were in a daze, Su Chen made his move. With a sweep of his sword, a violent torrent of thunder and lightning swept forward and drowned the Green Turtle Tribe leader and the Green Turtle Tribe leader in the blink of an eye. Under the raging thunder and lightning, the Green Turtle Tribe leader and the Green Turtle Tribe leader immediately turned into 2 pieces of ashes. The other members of the Green Tortoise Tribe didn't dare to stay any longer when they saw that their tribe leader had been hacked into pieces. They all fled towards the mine for their lives. "Satoshi, do it!" Su Chen shouted loudly. The intelligent war chariot received the order and fired at full power, continuously slaughtering the green turtles and mutated beasts. Wu Yang and the others also got out of the chariot and chased after the green turtles. Su Chen did not join in the chase. There was still a level 5 sacred beast tortoise waiting to be dealt with. When Su Chen returned, the sacred beast tortoise had just emerged from the pit and collided with Su Chen. Hee. The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly, and a Pegasus meteor punch smashed over. Bang bang bang. The sacred beast tortoise was once again smashed into the pit with a thunderous sound that sounded like raindrops hitting a banana leaf. After suffering such a fierce and concentrated attack, its tortoise shell was smashed, and its aura was also extremely weak. It seemed that it would not be able to survive. Su Chen walked forward. Just as he was about to finish the job, he received a very strong signal. This signal came from the pet feeding space. To be more precise, it came from the Heavenly Overlord Turtle. Su Chen was a little confused. He didn't know what the Heavenly Overlord Turtle wanted to do, so he released it from the pet breeding space. As soon as the Heavenly Overlord Turtle appeared, it excitedly rushed into the pit. Su Chen was confused. He chased after it and saw that the Heavenly Overlord Turtle had bitten off the sacred beast tortoise's head. Crunch, crunch. After that, it started to chew, looking like it was enjoying itself. *CK. Su Chen was stunned. At first, he didn't know what the Heavenly Overlord Turtle wanted to do, but now he understood. This guy wanted to snatch food from him. Su Chen was a little unhappy. He jumped down and slapped the Heavenly Overlord Turtle's head. "How many sea monsters and mutated beasts have I left for you? Is it not enough for you to eat? How dare you snatch food from me?" "Woo woo." The Heavenly Overlord Turtle hurriedly shook its head. It looked like it had something to say, but it couldn't say it. Chapter 3:14. Su Chen muttered in his heart, "This guy doesn't seem to be just after food." Since he couldn't communicate with the Heavenly Overlord Turtle, he couldn't figure out the reason. Su Chen simply put the corpses of the Heavenly Overlord Turtle and the Holy Turtle into the pet breeding space. After all, they were his spiritual pets. He could just treat it as improving its diet. Later, he also joined in the hunt. In just a short 10 minutes, the Green Tortoise tribesmen were basically all killed. Only a few escaped. On the other hand, the mutated beasts were very agile. Most of them escaped into the Huangza Mountains. Su Chen couldn't be bothered to chase after them. He started to pick up the fragments. This time, he didn't kill many Green Tortoise tribesmen and mutated beasts. He only obtained about 200 fragments. Su Chen grabbed a black fragment. A strange voice sounded in his mind. Picked up Green Mountain Quenching Wood Stone Fragment X1, 110. The fragments are not full. Cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. After saying this, Su Chen started to ponder. From the name Green Mountain Quenching Wood Stone, it should be something like a god's stone. So far, he had obtained 2. They were Earth Vein Fire Meteorite and Big Dipper Star Fragment Stone. After obtaining another god's stone fragment, he started to think about it. If he used the fusion gem to fuse all the stones together, the weight would definitely increase by several times. If he fused a few more pieces and accumulated the weight to 50,000 kilograms, wouldn't he be able to smash anyone to death if he used it with the Heavenly 100-fold Strength technique? How many people could withstand the weight of 50,000 kilograms? Thinking of this, Su Chen was a little excited. He decided to study it when he had time. After a while, he calmed down and continued to pick up the fragments. After picking up hundreds of fragments in a row, there was suddenly a violent explosion in the mine. Then, there was a tremor like the earth was shaking. Su Chen looked in the direction of the mine. In his line of sight, smoke and dust curled up. The mine began to slowly collapse and eventually turned into ruins. He could imagine that the collapse of the mine must have been caused by the explosion of the interdomain passage. The Green Turtle tribe must have been the one who destroyed the interrealm passageway. The reason was very simple. Their clan leader and holy beasts had been killed one after another, and their top-notch combat forces had been exhausted. They were worried that he would take advantage of the opportunity to kill his way in, so they decided to go all out and blow up the realm passageway. These fellows are slow to realize. Su Chen muttered and continued to pick up the fragments. Originally, he really did plan to enter the Green Turtle tribe's territory, but now he could only extinguish that thought. Half an hour later, the fragments were collected and the energy stones were dug out. Su Chen and the others returned to the intelligent war chariot. For the first time, Su Chen opened the pet-raising space to check. Inside the space, the Saint Beast tortoise had already been eaten, leaving only a broken tortoise shell. The Heavenly Overlord tortoise, on the other hand, was sleeping soundly on the ground after eating its fill. He can really eat a lot. Su Chen snorted and was about to close the pet-raising space. However, he was surprised to discover that the Heavenly Overlord turtle's aura was rising steadily. Advance! Su Chen was pleasantly surprised. The Heavenly Overlord turtle was now a level 5 mutant beast. After it advanced, it would become a level 6 mutant beast. It was almost an existence that could do whatever it wanted on Qinyu Island. At this moment, Su Chen also understood. No wonder the Heavenly Overlord turtle cared so much about the Saint Beast tortoise. It turned out that it could advance by devouring its flesh and blood. Chapter 3:15. Su Chen was worried that he would disturb the Heavenly Overlord turtle and affect its advancement, so he closed the pet-raising space. Then, he looked at the screen again and began to look for the whereabouts of zombies and mutant beasts. At this time, Yang Lingtian came up and asked, Su Chen, are we still going to kill the mutant beasts in the Huangzi Mountains? Previously, thousands of mutant beasts had escaped into the Huangzi Mountains, which was not a small number. Don't worry about them. Let's go to other bases, Su Chen replied. The environment in the Huangzi Mountains was complicated, and the mutant beasts were good at escaping. It was almost impossible to kill all of them. However, there were no signs of zombies on the screen, so he decided to go to other bases to try his luck. Satoshi, let's go to Tianan. Su Chen ordered. Tianan used to be Golden Fileshire's nest, so he guessed that there should be zombies there. Yes. The intelligent war chariot was activated and galloped toward the Tianan gathering place. In the following days, Su Chen and the others kept hunting zombies. It took them nearly half a month to kill all the large zombie hordes in the Huangzi Mountains of Qinyu Island. During this period, they killed more than 40 to 50,000 zombies. Su Chen's harvest was quite rich. He obtained a large number of energy stones and accumulated more than 5,000 energy points. On this day, after everyone had eaten, they gathered together and began to discuss. Su Chen, where are we going next? Wu Yang was the first to speak. There were no more zombies to kill in the Huangzi Mountains, so they had to find another place. For now, they had 2 places to go. One was to go to Yulin, and the other was to enter the sea to hunt sea monsters. Su Chen thought for a moment and replied, let's go to Yulin first. Yulin was not only the largest area in Qinyu Island, but it also had many forces, including many zombie legions and mutant beasts. In addition, he had conflicts with the Hidden Fog sect, Lion's Gate, and Tongtian City, so he wanted to meet them. Hearing that they were going to Yulin, everyone was excited. The Yulin region was prosperous and powerful, and there were more than 10 big cities with more than 100,000 people. As for the largest city, Tongtian City, it was a mega-city with a population of over 1 million people. It was said that all kinds of things were sold there, which aroused their great interest. They had long wanted to go and see it. After deciding on the plan, Su Chen looked at the terrain map on the central control screen. Yulin was not a place that could be casually entered. The reason was that outside the Yulin area, there was a circular mountain range called the Chulin Mountain Range. It was also because of the existence of the winding forest mountain range that Thousand Feather Island was divided into 3 parts. The Tsulin mountain range was high and steep. It was not impossible to climb over it, but it would take a lot of effort. If they wanted to enter the Yulin forest area without any effort, they could only go through a special passage. There were 2 passageways between Yulin District and Huanglin District, which were excavated by manpower. One of the closer ones was near Full Moon City. Su Chen found the specific location of the passage on the map. He reached out and ordered the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, go to this place." The intelligent war chariot locked onto the target and left. 5 days later, a towering mountain range appeared in front of the intelligent war chariot. This mountain range went from west to east, and there was no end in sight. It was the Chulin mountain range. Moreover, the place where the intelligent war chariot was located was less than 100 miles away from the passage into Yulin District. Su Chen glanced at the central control screen and then retracted his gaze. Just as he was about to rest for a while, an alarm sounded on the central control screen. "Warning, there is a MCV rushing towards us. It is estimated that we will encounter it in 2 minutes." Chapter 316. Satoshi, stop the car. Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed as he ordered. The other party came straight to him, and it seemed that they were not friendly. However, no matter who the other party was, as long as they dared to provoke him, they could only consider themselves unlucky. Soon, a red MCV sped over. "Yulin's MCV?" Su Chen muttered. The red MCV was 15 meters long, and there was a golden eagle logo on the front, which should belong to a certain force. He had never seen an MCV like this before, so he suspected that it came from Yulin. When the red MCV stopped in front of the intelligent chariot, more than 20 men with weapons got off. They were all wearing black uniforms, and all of them looked fierce, like bandits. The leader was a middle-aged man in his 40s with a goatee. After he looked at the intelligent chariot, he shouted, "The people inside, get out." Where did this idiot come from? How dare he yell in front of us? Is he tired of living? "Chingu, let me go down and teach this bastard a lesson." "Chingu, I'll go too." Seeing the other party being so arrogant, Yang Hao and the other 2 were a little angry, and they all asked Su Chen to fight. Su Chen smiled faintly. "Let's go down and see." He had seen a lot of arrogant people like this before, and they all ended up dying in his hands. He was not in a hurry to teach them a lesson, and it was better to find out the other party's background first. Opening the door, Su Chen slowly got out of the car. Yang Hao and the other 2 followed closely behind, and the others were left in the car by Su Chen. When he saw the 4 young people get out of the car, the man with the goatee was a little disdainful. "Everyone, what do you mean by stopping us? If you don't give me a reasonable explanation, you may be in trouble." Su Chen glanced at the other party and said faintly. Hearing this, the 20 people on the opposite side were stunned at first, and then they laughed wildly. "Boy, you are very arrogant. You dare to threaten us? Do you know who we are?" The goateed man stopped laughing, and his expression became somewhat unfriendly. Su Chen rubbed his nose and whispered, "I'd like to hear the details." The man with the goatee snorted and said proudly, "We are from the Golden Hawk Gang. Now do you know where we come from?" The Golden Hawk Triad was considered a third-rate power in Yulin. The strongest person in the triad was their leader, Jin Shuyang, who was a level 3 evolver. Su Chen learned about this from the old man from the Hidden Fog sect. "It's just a small gang." Su Chen curled his lips in disdain and continued, "Tell me why you're here. My time is precious and I don't want to waste it on ants like you." F***CK. You're F***King Cocky. Behind the man with the goatee, a young man pointed at Su Chen's nose and cursed. Everyone else also had an unfriendly look on their faces, as if they wanted to skin Su Chen alive. Although the Golden Hawk Gang was not in the top tier in Yulin, it was enough to be considered a tyrant in Huanglin. Su Chen, who came from Huanglin, dared to look down on the Golden Hawk Gang and treat them like ants. He was simply courting death. Now, they were only waiting for the man with the goatee to give the order, and then they would rush up and tear Su Chen apart. However, before they could act, the young man who had cursed Suchen just now had his head inexplicably exploded. He did not even know how he died. What was going on? How did he die? Who did it? Facing such a strange situation, the man with the goatee and the others were terrified. They opened their eyes wide and kept looking around. Suchen rubbed his nose and said lightly, "Don't look, I killed him." Chapter 317. You killed him? The man with the goatee was shocked and looked at Suchen in a daze. Just now, he had been watching Suchen and did not see Suchen make any movements. Then how did Suchen kill his men? Was he pretending? Or was he deliberately mystifying? Or did he really have a way to kill people without being noticed? The man with the goatee could not make up his mind and was stunned on the spot. You think you can kill him? Shameless boasting. Let me see what you're made of. A rough man behind the man with the goatee scoffed at Suchen's words and rushed towards Suchen with a knife. Although he was a little frightened by his companion's death, he did not believe that it was Suchen who did it. Go to hell! The rough man roared. He thought that he could kill Suchen with one knife with his strength as a level 2 evolver. However, he had just rushed in front of Suchen, and before he could slash down, his head exploded into a flower of blood. Hiss! Seeing this, the man with the goatee and the others sucked in a breath of cold air. One person's head exploding could be said to be an accident, but 2 people in a row was definitely not simple. This also meant that Suchen was not boasting, he really had the ability to kill people without being noticed. You are a spirit reader. The man with the goatee suddenly thought of something and exclaimed. The spirit power released by a spirit reader was invisible and could indeed kill people without being noticed. Moreover, to easily kill a level 2 evolver, one must be at least a level 3 spirit reader master. Thinking of this, the man with the goatee felt a chill down his spine. The other people's faces also changed as they looked at Suchen with indescribable horror. Level 3 spirit readers were very rare even in Yulin. It could even be said that they could be counted on one hand. Every single one of them had great power, and they were definitely not people that the small fry of a third-rate gang like them could afford to offend. Senior, we have eyes but did not recognize Mount Tai. Please don't lower yourself to our level. The man with the goatee's attitude took a 180-degree turn and his attitude was very humble. He was very clear that his previous actions had angered Suchen. If he did not make up for it in time, he would not be able to survive today. Tell me why you stopped us? Suchen asked calmly. The other party stopped him for no reason. What was their intention? This made him somewhat unable to guess. Senior, we want to ask you about a person's whereabouts? The man with the goatee hurriedly replied. Asking for information can bully the weak? Is this how the Golden Hawk gang conducts themselves? Suchen snorted coldly. Seeing that Suchen was angry, Goatee and the others kept quiet out of fear. At the same time, their hearts were filled with regret. All along, the Golden Eagle gang was this unscrupulous. Originally, they still thought that Suchen was a soft persimmon that could be kneaded at will. Who would have thought that they would kick an iron plate? If they had known that Suchen was a hidden level 3 spirit reader, they would have avoided him. Who would have come to touch this bad luck? Who are you asking about? Suchen asked in a low voice. Senior, we are looking for this person. As the man with the goatee spoke, he took out a scroll. After opening it, a graceful and beautiful woman appeared. Suchen felt that the woman in the scroll was somewhat familiar. After looking at it carefully, he suddenly remembered. A few days ago, on the way to Full Moon City, he encountered people from Lion's Gate. Among them, the beautiful woman was the person in the scroll. What is her name? Is she also from the Golden Eagle gang? Suchen asked. The beautiful woman died in his hands, and this formed a grudge with the power behind her. To prevent any accidents, he had to figure out the other party's background. Chapter 318. Her name is Emotsilian. She's not a member of the Golden Hawk gang. She's from the Qilin Mountain, Goatee replied honestly. Qilin Mountain? Suchen muttered as he tried to recall. That day, The elder from the Hidden Fog sect had told him about all the big and small factions in Yulin, but he didn't mention Qilin Mountain. Did the elder not know about Qilin Mountain? Or was Goatee just making things up? What's the background of Qilin Mountain? Su Chen stared at Goatee and asked coldly. Goatee hesitated, but under Su Chen's stare, he gritted his teeth and said, "Senior, Qilin Mountain is a hidden sect. It's one of the top 3 factions in Yulin." Su Chen was stunned and asked casually, "What are the other 2 factions called?" "Forget Worry Valley and Tianqi Mountain." Goatee didn't hesitate this time. Su Chen frowned. He remembered that the elder from the Hidden Fog sect had said that the top 3 factions in Yulin were the Hidden Fog sect, Lion's Gate, and Tongtian City. How did it become the other 3 factions in Goatee's mouth? Who was lying between the 2 of them? Then what's the ranking of Heaven Connecting City in the Yulin region? Su Chen probed without batting an eyelid. Tongtian City is one of the strongest factions in Yulin on the surface, but it's just a subsidiary faction of Qilin Mountain, Goatee explained. Su Chen's expression changed, and his thoughts started to turn. Tongtian City had a level 4 evolver, and there were many evolvers below level 4. They weren't weak, but they were just a subsidiary faction. How strong was Qilin Mountain? What's the cultivation of the strongest person in Qilin Mountain? Su Chen asked again. Recently, he had killed many people from Heaven Connect City and had formed a deep enmity with them. This trip to Yulin might cause a bloodbath in Tongtian City. Would Qilin Mountain sit by and do nothing? The answer was obvious. Qilin Mountain would definitely support Tongtian City, and it would be another bloody battle. Therefore, he needed to understand the ins and outs of the Qilin Mountain in advance so that he could be prepared. There was also another point. That day at the Fire Wolf gathering place, he had learned from a level 4 evolver of Heaven Connect City that Heaven Connect City was trying to open a domain passage. It was hard to say whether or not the Qilin Mountain was behind this. The strongest person in Qilin Mountain is a level 5 evolver, and there is more than one of them. Goatee spoke while secretly observing Su Chen's expression. Originally, he thought that Su Chen would still be afraid of revealing the name of a level 5 evolved being. However, he realized that Su Chen was indifferent from the beginning to the end. It was as if Su Chen did not care about a level 5 evolver at all. Goatee was a bit puzzled. Level 5 evolvers were legendary existences. Every one of them had the power to destroy a city. Why wasn't Su Chen afraid? Level 5 evolvers were invincible in the eyes of others, but Su Chen could easily kill a level 5 holy tortoise, let alone a human of the same level. So, there are also level 5 evolvers in Wangyu Valley and Tianqi Mountain? Su Chen asked. Yes, Goatee replied affirmatively. Su Chen thought for a moment and said again, "How did you know about this? Tell me the truth, or don't blame me for being rude." He was a bit puzzled. Why would a weak Golden Hawk gang member know about something that even the elder of the Hidden Fog sect did not know? Our leader came from the Qilin Mountain. He told us about this before. Goatee was in fear and trepidation. Su Chen nodded slightly. Then he asked about some other things and killed everyone from the Golden Hawk gang. Chapter 319. Behind them, Su Chen and the other 3 returned to the car, and the intelligent war chariot continued to drive towards the tunnel. After more than half an hour, they arrived at the foot of the mountain, which was the entrance to the tunnel into Yulin. It was not a casual matter to enter and leave the Yulin forest. In addition to having their identity verified, they also had to pay a considerable toll. At this time, outside the entrance of the passage, dozens of soldiers in armor were checking the MCVs that were entering the passage. There were 7 MCV in front of the intelligent war chariot, and they were being checked in an orderly and unstable manner. After the 7 vehicles were checked and the toll was paid, they entered the tunnel one by one. When it was the intelligent war chariot's turn, a black MCV suddenly cut in from the side, blocking the front of the intelligent war chariot. Cutting in line was a very rude behavior. Su Chen was naturally unhappy. He got out of the car and shouted at the people in the black MCV, "Do you have any manners? Everyone is in line. What right do you have to cut in line?" Soon, a middle-aged man in white came down from the black MCV. After glancing at Su Chen, he did not say anything to Su Chen. He turned to the guard and talked to a few soldiers, then returned to the MCV. Before leaving, he looked at Su Chen again, his eyes full of disdain and ridicule. Damn, this guy is a bit pretentious. Su Chen curled his lips. When he was about to go up and argue, a gray-haired old man came from behind. He came to Su Chen's side and kindly reminded him, "Little brother, that's a MCV from Tongtian City. You'd better not provoke them." A MCV from Tongtian City cannot follow the rules? Su Chen snorted softly. The gray-haired old man shook his head and persuaded, "Little brother, you're not from Yulin, right? Maybe you don't know how powerful Tongtian City is. I advise you not to enter Yulin today, lest you get killed." "Thank you for the reminder, old man, but I still want to enter Yulin," Su Chen said indifferently. He didn't even put the powerhouses of sky-reaching city in his eyes, let alone the people on the MCV. He couldn't wait for them to find trouble with him. "Boy, it's your turn. Hurry up." At this moment, a guard shouted at Su Chen. Su Chen didn't argue with the guard and let the intelligent war chariot drive closer. The guard circled around the intelligent war chariot and did not ask about Su Chen's background. Instead, he directly asked for energy stones from Su Chen. "Your MCV is bigger than the average MCV, so the charge is higher." "How much?" Su Chen narrowed his eyes. 300 ordinary energy stones. "Scram if you can't hand it over." The guard snorted. "You really dare to demand an exorbitant price?" Su Chen laughed instead of getting angry. The entrance fee to the tunnel was 100 energy stones per MCV, and all the other MCVs had to pay 100 energy stones. When it was his turn, the price had increased to 300, which was obviously extorting him. Su Chen still remembered that when he first went to King Kong City, the guard there also wanted to take the opportunity to extort him. However, the price he paid was extremely painful. He didn't want to cause trouble, but if the other party really didn't know what was good for him, then he could only teach them a lesson. "Why didn't I pay for the previous MCV?" Su Chen snorted coldly. Just now, the man in white from Tongtian City had only exchanged a few words with the guard and was let go without paying a single energy stone. If it were someone else, they would never ask about this matter. But in Su Chen's eyes, there was no way he could rub sand. Did they want to treat him as a pushover? They had to have the ability to do so. Chapter 320. The gray-haired old man who had tried to persuade Su Chen sighed and returned to his MCV. In his opinion, Su Chen was too young and impetuous. Sooner or later, he would bring trouble to himself. Could young people live long if they didn't know how to restrain themselves? He even dared to question the guards at the entrance of the tunnel. Wasn't he digging his own grave? The gray-haired old man was afraid of being implicated, so he didn't want to have anything to do with Su Chen. "Do you know who they are? Are you worthy of being compared to them?" The guard glanced at Su Chen with a face full of disdain. Tongtian City was one of the top forces in Yulin, and Su Chen was just a small character in Huanglin. How could he compare to Tongtian City? What a joke! Su Chen nodded and said faintly, "You're right. I don't care about small characters like Tongtian City. They're not qualified to be compared to me." As soon as he said that, it caused a commotion. Damn, where did this arrogant kid come from? He doesn't even care about Tongtian City. He's from Huanglin and hasn't seen the world. Of course, he doesn't know how powerful Tongtian City is. This kid is dead. There are many people from Tongtian City among the guards. You asked for it. Let's just wait and watch the show. The gray-haired old man clicked his tongue, and his face was extremely ugly. If he had known that Su Chen was so arrogant, he wouldn't have talked to Su Chen. Now, his intestines were green with regret. "Ha!" The guard laughed wildly and stared at Su Chen as if he was looking at an idiot. He sneered and said, "Kid, since you don't care about Tongtian City, do you dare to reveal your name?" "I'm Emo Kong, from Qilin Mountain," Su Chen said proudly. Emo Kong was Emo Xian's brother. He was indeed from Qilin Mountain and was a level 4 evolver. He learned all this from Goatee of the Golden Hawk Gang. Considering that he was bound to cause a huge ruckus here, he might as well pour dirty water on the Qilin Mountain. Kid, stop trying to be mysterious here. What is the Qilin Mountain? The guard snorted disdainfully. He had heard of all the big and small factions in the Yulin area, but he had never heard of the Qilin Mountain, so he thought that the Qilin Mountain was a faction in the Yulin area. Could Huanglin District be compared to Yulin District? Even the top forces in Huanglin District could not be compared to a third-rate force in Yulin District. For insulting the Qilin Mountain, you can only atone for your sins with death. Since Su Chen was using the Qilin Mountain as a cover, he had to put on a show. Just as he was about to make his move, a tall and sturdy man rushed over from the passage. The man approached the guard and gave him a slap on the face without any explanation. He was quite ruthless. Not only was the guard's mouth full of blood, he even knocked out a few of his teeth. Witnessing this scene, the surrounding onlookers were somewhat dumbfounded. They had never heard of the Qilin Mountain either. However, the tall and sturdy man was the captain of the guards. His actions undoubtedly showed that the Qilin Mountain had a powerful background, so powerful that even the guards did not dare to provoke them. After the burly man finished beating up his subordinates, he turned to Su Chen with a smile. "Friend, my subordinate has eyes but failed to see and offended you. Please don't bother with him." Others did not know about the Qilin Mountain, but he did. The Qilin Mountain was an overlord-level faction in the Yulin District. Although Tongtian City was also very strong, it was obviously not on the same level as the Qilin Mountain. However, there was one thing he could not understand. The Qilin Mountain had always been secretive in their actions. It was rare to see Su Chen making such a big fuss. Do you think that offending the Qilin Mountain will be settled so easily? What do you think the Qilin Mountain is? Su sneered. His goal was to cause a huge ruckus and expose the Qilin Mountain. How could he let it go? Chapter 321. How do you want to settle this, sir? The burly man was slightly displeased. He had already humbled himself and taught his subordinates a lesson. It could be considered that he had given Su Chen enough face. Unexpectedly, Su Chen was still so overbearing. Even if it was the Qilin Mountain, they could not bully people like this, right? They also had backers behind them. If they insisted on fighting to the death, no one would be able to get out of the embarrassing situation. The solution is very simple. Hand over all the energy stones you received as compensation, Su Chen said with a smile. Hearing that, the surrounding onlookers were extremely shocked. A young man from the Qilin Mountain actually extorted the guards? One must know that these guards were all supported by major forces behind them. Su Chen still dared to do this. He was simply lawless. The burly man's face darkened. The toll collected here was not up to him to decide. He had to hand it in as well. Su Chen demanded all the energy stones the moment he opened his mouth. Clearly, he did not want to settle the matter peacefully. Isn't your appetite a little too big? The burly man snorted coldly. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently, "Just tell me if you're going to hand it over or not." The burly man immediately hesitated a little. Su Chen seemed to be harmless to humans and animals, but his body exuded a faint murderous aura. It gave him a very palpitating feeling. He could even imagine that as long as he said the word, "no," he might die on the spot in the next moment. "Here." The burly man gritted his teeth and called out to a guard behind him, "Bring over the energy stones collected today." Soon, a guard jogged over with a cloth bag. There are even 2,700 energy stones inside. Keep them well, sir. The burly man took the cloth bag and handed it to Su Chen. Su Chen did not even look at it and directly threw it into the storage bag. Then, the corners of his mouth curled. "I'll take the energy stones. Let's talk about something else." His original intention was not for the energy stones, but to make a big deal out of it. How could he make a big deal out of it? He probably had to kill someone. Huh. The burly man was stunned. From Su Chen's tone, it seemed that the matter was not over yet. However, he had already handed over the energy stones, which could be considered as taking a big step back. What else did Su Chen want? What else do you want? The burly man asked while holding back his anger. Su pointed at the guard who had scolded him and snorted. This guy has offended me before. He has to pay the price. What price? Didn't I teach him a lesson? The burly man was stunned for a moment, as if he had thought of something. His eyelids suddenly twitched, and he said involuntarily, "You mean, you guessed right." Su Chen didn't wait for him to finish speaking, as he punched the guard's head. F***CK. Witnessing this scene, the onlookers were inexplicably terrified. What was arrogance? What was tyrannical? Today, they finally saw it in Su Chen. The burly man was so angry that the corners of his mouth trembled. He originally wanted to scold Su Chen, but when he thought of Su Chen's identity and strength, he swallowed the words that were about to come out of his mouth. If you're not convinced, you can go to Qilin Mountain and find me. I'm Imo Qingkong. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the burly man, as he said disdainfully. The burly man nodded heavily. Okay, I'll remember your words. Su Chen had achieved his goal. When he returned to the car, he ordered the intelligent war chariot to enter the tunnel. When the intelligent war chariot disappeared from sight, the burly man's face was completely gloomy. He kept muttering, Qilin Mountain, Mo Qingkong. Chapter 322. The tunnel leading to Yulin was more than 10 miles long. The intelligent war chariot drove for 6 to 7 minutes before it came out of the tunnel. Outside the tunnel, there were also dozens of soldiers guarding the entrance. As soon as the intelligent war chariot appeared, it was surrounded by these guards. Everyone inside, get out of the car for inspection. A guard with a wretched appearance walked to the front of the car and shouted loudly. Su Chen felt that something was wrong. Logically speaking, when they entered the tunnel from Huanglin, the other side had already inspected it. There was no need for them to inspect it again. Even if they wanted to inspect it, there was no need to mobilize so many people, right? It was as if he knew how to run. Su Chen didn't think too much about it and walked straight out of the car, leaving the others in the car. Why are you the only one? Why aren't the others getting out of the car? Seeing that there was only Su Chen, the wretched guard widened his eyes and roared. When we entered from Huanglin, wasn't it inspected? Why is there a need to inspect it? Su Chen asked back. Hearing this, the wretched guard's face showed a hint of anger and scolded, I can do whatever I want, why do I need to ask for your permission? Su Chen spat, I can't control what you want to do, but if you want to find trouble with me, you must be blind. You dare to scold me? Are you tired of living? The wretched guard was so angry that his face turned red. Although he was only a guard, he had a powerful force behind him. Normally, no one dared to provoke them. But this young man in front of him not only did not give him any face, he even dared to insult him. He must have eaten a bear's heart and leopard's guts. Not only do I dare to scold you, I dare to kill you. Su Chen sneered and reached out to grab the wretched guard's neck. The wretched guard was shocked. When he wanted to dodge, he was horrified to find that his body was bound by an invisible force and could not move at all. You are... The wretched guard realized that the young man in front of him was most likely a spirit reader master, and a very high-level one. Just as he was about to speak, his neck was grabbed by Su Chen, and his voice stopped abruptly. How dare you? Let go. Seeing this, the other guards rushed towards Su Chen with their weapons. Scram! Su Chen's expression turned cold as he shouted. The guards felt as if they had been hit in the head. They all stopped and looked at each other in dismay. Su Chen's shout carried a powerful pressure, giving them a feeling of fear and trepidation. At this moment, they knew that the young man in front of them was definitely an expert. He might even be an evolver of level 3 or higher. In the face of such an expert, no one dared to act rashly. After intimidating the guards, Su Chen threw the wretched guard to the ground and said coldly, Who ordered you to do this? Originally, he wanted to kill the wretched guard, but he thought that the other party would not pester him for no reason. There must be someone behind this, so he wanted to find out who the person behind this was. The wretched guard lay on the ground, terrified and uneasy. He begged for mercy loudly, Senior, I was wrong. I won't dare to do it again. Su Chen's strength was far beyond his imagination. The moment when he was grabbed by Su Chen, he even felt that death was approaching. At this moment, he was so scared that his mind was a little fuzzy. He only wanted to beg Su Chen to forgive him. "I'll say it again. Who ordered you to do this? My patience is limited." Su Chen's voice was cold, and his whole body was surrounded by a murderous aura. The wretched guard was so scared that his whole body trembled. He hurriedly replied, "It was Shi from Heaven Connect City who ordered me to do this." Chapter 323. Sky Connect City. Shi? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and pondered. It was true that he had a grudge against Sky Connect City, but who was Shi? Was he sent by Sky Connect City to deal with him? After thinking about it, Su Chen felt that it was unlikely. Although he had killed many people from Sky Connect City, the other party did not know his background, and would not know that he had come to Yulin. Moreover, even if they knew, they would not let the guards cause trouble. All of a sudden, Su Chen thought of a person and asked with a cold snort, "Is Shi a man in white? Driving a black MCV?" "Yes, it's him," the wretched guard hurriedly replied. At this moment he was gnashing his teeth in hatred. If Shi did not ask him to investigate Su Chen, how could he be in this situation now? Offending a powerhouse above level 3, he might even lose his life. "It's really him," Su Chen whispered. Originally, he did not plan to argue with the man in white. He did not expect that the other party would take the initiative to provoke him. There was a path to heaven, but you did not take it, and there was no door to hell. You can't blame others for seeking your own death. Hand over all the energy stones you received. Su Chen glanced and said coldly, "Robbing one house was robbing 2 houses was robbing." Since he wanted to make a big deal out of it, he might as well rob until the end. "Senior, we don't have a say in the energy stones," the wretched man explained with a bitter face. They were just a group of guards, and the energy stones they collected had to be handed over. If they did not hand over the energy stones, they would be punished. "If you don't want to give, then go to hell." Su Chen did not waste time with him, walked forward, and kicked the wretched man's head. The rest of the guards were so scared that their faces turned pale, and they could not help but retreat. The young man in front of them killed without hesitation, and they were afraid that they would be implicated and end up as wretched guards. "You guys, hand over the energy stones, and I will spare your lives." Su Chen's gaze fell on the other guards. His eyes were unusually cold. When their eyes met with Su Chen's, the guards were so scared that they started to tremble. They all understood that if they didn't do as Su Chen said, it was very likely that they would lose their lives. After looking at each other, one of them jogged back and quickly ran back with a cloth bag in his hand. He came to Su Chen's side and presented the pouch with both hands. He said respectfully, "Senior, a total of 1,700 energy stones are inside." Su Chen took the cloth bag, threw it into the storage bag, and then went straight to the intelligent war chariot. Before he left, he laughed wantonly. "I am Mo Ching Kong of the Qilin Mountain. If anyone is not convinced, come find me at the Qilin Mountain." With that, the intelligent war chariot left. After Su Chen left, the remaining guards gathered together to discuss. "Captain is dead, and the energy stone was stolen. What should we do?" "Quickly report this to the higher-ups." "Yes, report this to the higher-ups. Damn it, the people of the Qilin Mountain are too arrogant." Not long after Su Chen left, a MCV drove out of the tunnel. The owner of the MCV was the gray-haired old man. When he saw the body of a guard lying on the ground, his heart suddenly trembled. Although he did not know how the guard died, he vaguely guessed that it was probably done by Mo Ching Kong of the Qilin Mountain. Too arrogant. Too unscrupulous. The gray-haired old man sighed from the bottom of his heart. Since the tunnel to the Huanglin area was opened, there had never been a case of a guard being killed. He did not expect that it would happen twice in a row today. Mo Ching Kong of the Qilin Mountain did not seem to care about the major forces of the Yulin area. His level of arrogance was something that the gray-haired old man had never seen before. Chapter 324. In the intelligent chariot, Su Chen sat in the driver's seat and squinted at the control screen. The main purpose of coming to Yulin was to hunt zombies and mutant beasts. As for big cities like Tongtian City, it would not be too late to go there when he had time. Soon, Su Chen found the existence of zombies in an abandoned city. There were not many of them, only about 500. Satoshi, go to this place. Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent chariot locked on the target and sped forward. But it didn't go far before the intelligent chariot reminded him, Master, there is a MCV blocking the route ahead. Su Chen whispered and looked at the control screen again and said, Satoshi, zoom in. After the image on the central control screen changed, a black MCV appeared. Seeing this, Su Chen laughed. He had seen this MCV once. It belonged to Shi from Tongtian City. Originally, he wanted to teach Shi a lesson, but he didn't expect the other party to take the initiative to come to his door. Satoshi, drive over. Su Chen's mouth drew a strange arc. A few minutes later, the intelligent chariot came close to the black MCV. Shi was already standing in front of the MCV, looking like he had been waiting for a long time. Su Chen got out of the MCV and slowly walked toward Shi. When the two were 3 meters apart, he stopped. Shi glanced at Su Chen and sneered, Boy, I didn't expect you to dare to enter Yulin. You have guts. Yulin is not your home. Why can't I come? Su Chen rubbed his nose and said in a deep voice, You are Shi from Tongtian City, right? You ordered those guards to interrogate me, right? Hearing this, Shi frowned. How did you know? The guards at the tunnel entrance had a good relationship with him. It was also his idea to interrogate Su Chen's MCV. But how did Su Chen know it was him? Logically speaking, those guards would never betray him. Since you've admitted it, then this matter won't be easy to resolve. Also, why are you blocking my way? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and asked coldly. I stopped you to kill you, of course. This is the consequence of offending Heaven Connect City. Shi Yi's eyes flashed with a touch of ruthlessness. After a gloomy smile, he waved his hand toward the MCV behind him. Suddenly, more than a dozen men filed out of the black MCV. Although he did not know how Su Chen knew about his background, he saw that Su Chen was young and came from Huanglin District. Shi Yi's evil intentions grew in his heart. He decided to finish off Su Chen on the spot. Su Chen pursed his lips. Do you think a bunch of shrimp soldiers and shrimp generals can control me? Ha! Shi Yi laughed maniacally and mocked. Brat, are you King living too comfortably in Huanglin District? This is Yulin District, not a place where you can show off. Su Chen's fearless arrogance made Shi Yi very unhappy. As soon as he finished speaking, he moved his feet and rushed towards Su Chen. Kill! The others also made their moves. A bunch of trash. Su Chen scorned. Originally, he thought that since they came from Heaven Connect City, they should have some combat power. He did not expect that they were just a group of level 1 evolvers. Even Shi Yi was only level 2. Su Chen shook his head, then waved his hand, and a gray wind blade shot forward. Level 4 spell. Feeling the terrifying magic wave from the wind blade, Shi Yi and the others were so scared that their hearts stopped beating. Puff puff, crack. The wind blade swept past, and Shi Yi and the others did not even have time to scream before they were cut in half. As for the black MCV, it was also split in two. Chapter 325. Su Chen went back to the car, and the intelligent war chariot slowly drove away. It didn't take long for several more MBVs to arrive, including a black MCV from Tongtian City. The gray-haired old man also drove the MCV over. When he saw the corpses all over the ground, he clicked his tongue. This Imo Chinkong is really crazy. Is he going to kill people all the way? He could already tell that these dead people were all from Heaven Connect City. When they entered the tunnel, they even took Imo Chinkong's place. He couldn't help but suspect that it was Imo Chinkong who did it. Who did it? How dare he kill people from Heaven Reach City? He must be tired of living. Beside the corpses stood a bearded man. At this moment, his face was so gloomy that it was about to drip water. He kept looking around, his eyes emitting a deep cold light. The gray-haired old man quickly withdrew his gaze, fearing that he would be implicated. He knew it, but did he dare to say it? Once he did, with Mo Qingkong's style of doing things, would he let him go easily? Unexpectedly, this action of his was noticed by the bearded man. "Old thing, why are you hiding? Get down here." The gray-haired old man was startled. After thinking quickly, he hurriedly ran out of the MCV. "Sir, why did you call me?" The gray-haired old man came up to the bearded man and said in fear and trepidation. The bearded man glanced at the gray-haired old man and snorted. "Old thing, do you know something? Tell me the truth, so that you won't suffer physical pain." The gray-haired old man gritted his teeth and said, "I think it's Mo Qingkong from Qilin Mountain." "Who did you say?" The bearded man's eyes widened, almost thinking that he had misheard. Not only did he know Qilin Mountain, but he was also very familiar with Mo Qingkong, who was sitting on his MCV at the moment. These days, they had been looking for Mo Talian's whereabouts outside. How could Mo Qingkong have time to kill people from Heaven Reach City? This gray-haired old man dared to lie in front of him. He was simply courting death. The gray-haired old man trembled and stammered, "Sir, I'm just guessing. I don't know if it's him or not." "You dare to make irresponsible remarks when you don't know anything?" The bearded man's face darkened. He reached out and grabbed the gray-haired old man's neck, sneering. "Old son, hold on." At this moment, a young man in his late 20s got off the MCV. He was dressed in luxurious clothes and looked extremely handsome. However, there was a trace of a black mark between his eyebrows, giving people a feeling of ruthlessness. "Brother Mo, this old thing dares to frame you. Let me teach him a good lesson." The bearded man gnashed his teeth and said. The young man was none other than Mo Qingkong from the Qilin Mountain. He came to the side of the bearded man and waved his hand. "No hurry, I still have something to ask him. It's good to know the ins and outs of the matter." The bearded man swung his hand and threw the grizzled old man to the ground. Mo Qingkong stared at the white-haired old man and said in a deep voice, "Where did you hear about Mo Qingkong? Have you seen him?" "My lord, it's like this." The white-haired old man hurriedly recounted his encounter with Su Qin. Hearing this, Mo Qingkong and the bearded man looked at each other. Their faces turned cold at the same time. "Interesting, someone dares to use my name to do whatever he wants." Mo Qingkong flashed a cruel smile and then said to the bearded man, "Old son, this guy can't have gone far. Let's go after him." "Motherf asterisk cur, I must skin that brat alive." The bearded man cursed and returned to the MCV with Mo Qingkong. Then, they sped along the road. Chapter 326. An hour later, the intelligent war chariot had already entered the city with zombies. Su Qin noticed on the central control screen that there were hundreds of blue dots opposite the 500 red dots. Zombies and humans appeared in the same place at the same time. What followed was a scene of killing. Originally, Su Qin did not care. But as time passed, the scene of killing did not happen. The two sides seemed to be confronting each other. This situation meant that one of the zombies had intelligence and could restrain the other zombies. Otherwise, the zombies would have already fought with the humans. "Satoshi, let's go and take a look." Su Qin was suddenly interested. "Yes." The intelligent war chariot sped up and rushed forward. Yang Hao and the others also began to rub their hands together. A few minutes later, a large number of zombies and humans appeared in front of the intelligent war chariot. When he rushed to the front, Su Qin glanced outside the carriage, but his brows frowned. He realized that the situation here seemed to be different from what he had expected. Those zombies and humans were not confronting each other. It seemed more like they were trading. On the human side, there were dozens of people tied up. These people were constantly being sent to the zombie crowd. Every time one was sent out, they would receive dozens of energy stones. Are they really trading? Although he saw it with his own eyes, Su Qin still did not believe it. Because zombies and humans were like fire and water, it was already good that they could live in harmony. It was a bit ridiculous to trade, not to mention that the humans were trading with their own kind. If that was the case, then these people were simply heartless. They were worse than pigs and dogs. The scum of the human race. The appearance of the intelligent war chariot quickly attracted the attention of the zombies and humans. They very tacitly spread out and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. Are these people King crazy? Why are they working with the zombies to deal with us? Chao Ran was a bit confused. He did not know why the humans outside were doing this. Wu Yang and the others were also very confused. They all looked at Su Chen. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and sneered in his heart. He had already guessed the reason. These zombies and humans must have made a deal, and the target of the deal was the humans who were tied up. Once this kind of thing was spread out, the zombies would be fine, but those humans would definitely suffer the wrath of other humans. In order to prevent the news from spreading, they joined forces and tried to catch all of them in one fell swoop. Thinking of this, Su Chen said in a low voice, "Come down with me." When Su Chen and the others got off the car, a person walked over from the group of zombies and humans. Su Chen took a closer look and saw that the zombie was short and had a dark face, but its eyes were unusually bright. The human was a fat woman who looked like she weighed more than 150 kilograms. Not bad, each and every one of them has soft and tender skin. There are even 2 extremely beautiful women among them. The fat woman looked at Su Chen and the others, and her face immediately bloomed with joy. Then she turned to the short zombie, "Jiang Kuan, I'll sell these humans to you for 15 energy stones per person." The short zombie snorted, "Young silly, these humans were not caught by you. They came to me voluntarily. They are ownerless. Anyone who sees them has a share. No, as long as they are humans, they are mine." Yang Silly roared angrily. Don't be so shameless." Jiang Kuan's face was cold, and he was not to be outdone. Seeing this, Wu Yang and the others looked at each other. The zombie and the fat woman were arguing in front of them, as if they were fish on the chopping block that could be kneaded at will. "You're a level 4 magician." Jiang Kuan was scared out of his wits. To be able to cut off a level 3 evolver's arm so easily, only a magician of level 4 and above could do it. When he thought of this, he turned around and ran. He roared at the zombies around him, "Kill them!" Woo woo! The zombies received the order and rushed towards Su Chen. Wu Yang and the rest couldn't wait any longer and attacked at that moment. Su Chen locked his gaze on Jiang Kuan. Then he flicked out a green thread of light that shot to Jiang Kuan's feet in an instant. It turned into a green vine and fixed him firmly on the spot. Chapter 328. Let's attack together and kill him. Yang Silly also roared. She knew very well that the young man in front of her was most likely a level 4 spirit reader and a level 4 magic reader. If she wanted to survive in the hands of such a strong person, she could only rely on her subordinates to have a chance of survival. Yang Silly's subordinates did not hesitate at all as they roared and rushed towards Su Chen. There were about 30 of them, and there were a few level 2 evolvers among them. Seeing this, Su Chen smiled contemptuously and punched out. Buzz. The moment Su Chen attacked, the void shook. The sky was filled with fist shadows floating in the air, giving people a very shocking feeling. What is this thing? Facing such a strange scene, the people who rushed up were a little hesitant. Yang Silly's pupils suddenly shrank, and she shouted in shock, "Secret fist technique." He is also a powerful evolver. The power of the secret fist technique was very great, and only evolvers with especially strong bodies could control it. Thinking of this, Yang Silly felt as if she was struck by lightning, and a stormy sea was set off in her heart. He was a full-time cultivator, and they had all reached level 4. Pegasus Meteor Punch. Su Chen roared and punched out. The fist shadows floating in the air suddenly fell down. The next moment, amidst the sound of bones breaking and screams, more than 30 of Yang Silly's subordinates instantly turned into a pile of meat paste. Gulp. Seeing this scene, Yang Silly swallowed a mouthful of saliva with difficulty, and her heart was dead. Jiang Kuan, who was not far away, was so scared that his liver and gallbladder were torn apart. He cried out in his heart, "Oh my God! Is he still human? How can there be such a powerful cultivator in the world?" As he was imprisoned by Su Chen's wood entanglement technique, he desperately struggled to break free. However, even if he used all his skills, he could not shake the vines under his feet at all. What should I do? Jiang Kun was terrified, and his whole body was drenched in sweat. Now, the only thing he could count on was his more than 500 zombie subordinates. However, what he saw was that his zombie subordinates were being slaughtered. Every single one of them was an evolver, especially the metal puppet. It was most likely a level 4 puppet. Killing zombies would be as easy as killing an ant for it. Jiang Kun knew that the situation was hopeless, so he stopped struggling. A few minutes later, more than 500 zombies were all slaughtered. Wu Yang and the others had already started digging up the energy stones. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and scanned the area. Soon, more than 50 shining fragments appeared in his vision. Seeing this, he couldn't help but grin. As he still had to deal with Yang Sili and Jiang Kun, he was not in a hurry to pick up the fragments. Then, Su Chen walked up to Yang Sili and said calmly, "Tell me your background. Don't force me to make a move." Yang Sili shuddered and gritted her teeth. "If you want to kill me, then kill me. I won't say anything." Su Chen did not stand on ceremony with her. He raised his hand and smashed her head. Then, he turned and walked toward Jiang Kun. "Senior, I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. Don't kill me." Seeing that Su Chen killed people without restraint and was incomparably ruthless, Jiang Kun was scared out of his wits. Before Su Chen could speak, he took the initiative to speak. "You're quite tactful, aren't you?" Su Chen rubbed his nose and walked closer. He said softly, "Tell me your background first." "Senior, I'm from China City. I'm Do Wuwei's subordinate," Jiang Kun said in fear and trepidation. Before coming to Yulin, Su Chen had seen China City on the map on the central control screen. It was a city comparable to King Kong City. As for Do Wuwei, he did not know who he was. Chapter 329. Is the Do Wuji you mentioned a human or a zombie? Su Chen asked in a deep voice. "Zombie," Jiang Kun replied immediately. Su Chen's mind moved. So, wasn't China City occupied by zombies? How many zombies would there be in such a big city? Would there be 100,000? If all of them were killed, how many fragments would there be? What level is Do Wuji? Also, how many zombies are there in China City? Su Chen asked calmly. Do Wuji is a level 5 zombie. There are 50,000 zombies under him, Jiang Kun replied truthfully. Only so few? Su Chen was a little disappointed. Jiang Kun was a little confused. He thought to himself, 50,000 is too few? Why does it sound like you want to kill all the zombies in China City? Do you really think you are invincible? If you have the ability, go to China City and try. I guarantee that you will die until not even your bones are left. Of course, he could only think about it in his heart. He absolutely did not dare to say it out loud. Su Chen collected his thoughts and continued to ask, "What is the background of the fat woman who made the deal with you?" "She is the deputy leader of the Golden Hawk Gang," Jiang Kun replied. Hearing this, Su Chen's face became gloomy. Of course, he was familiar with the Golden Hawk Gang. Before he came, he had killed their members. However, he did not expect that the Golden Hawk Gang would sell their own people to zombies for their own selfish reasons. They were inhumane. Although Su Chen was not a nosy person, he could not tolerate what the Golden Hawk Gang did. He had already put the Golden Hawk Gang on his kill list. In the future, if he found the Golden Hawk Gang's nest, he would definitely uproot the Golden Hawk Gang. Su Chen took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. He said coldly, "Why do you want to buy humans?" Upon hearing this, Jiang Kun hesitated, and his eyes began to roll. Su Chen was keenly aware of this and said sternly, "You'd better be sensible. If you dare to lie, I'll make you beg for death." Jiang Kun sucked in a breath of cold air, gritted his teeth and said, "Senior, it's none of my business. I'm just an errand boy. These people are all wanted by Do Wuwei. What the hell is going on?" Su Chen's voice was cold. He faintly felt that things were not so simple. Dou Wei reared a ferocious beast. That ferocious beast likes to devour flesh and blood, especially human flesh. Jiang Kuan stopped when he reached this point. However, the meaning was very clear. The humans that were bought back had all become food for a dire beast. Is the dire beast a mutant beast? Su Chen suppressed his anger and asked. This was the first time he had heard of the term, ferocious beast, and he didn't know if it was a type of mutant beast. Ferocious beasts are a type of mutated beast. However, they do not belong to our world. They are mutated beasts from another world, Jiang Kuan explained. So, it's a creature of another race. Su Chen nodded and asked again, what's the level of that ferocious beast? Considering that he would go to Jaina City to kill zombies later, he was more concerned about this extra ferocious beast. Jiang Kuan shook his head and said, I don't know. That ferocious beast rarely shows itself outside, and it has never shown its strength. Su Chen had asked what he needed to ask. He casually smashed Jiang Kuan's head. After that, he released all the humans who were tied up. He asked for some information and let them leave. The only thing left was to pick up the shards. Su Chen focused his gaze and did not find any purple gold shards. He picked up the nearest shard. Half an hour later, all the shards were picked up. Su Chen only kept one shard, and the rest were exchanged for energy points. The shard left behind was a divine stone shard, and it was a brand new divine stone shard called the Brilliant Shadow Quenching Metal Stone. Chapter 330. So far, Su Chen had obtained 4 kinds of god stones. They were the Celestial Star Fragment Stone, the Earth Vein Fire Meteorite, the Green Mountain Quenching Wood Stone, and the Brilliant Shadow Quenching Gold Stone. Among them, the Celestial Star Fragment Stone and the Earth Vein Fire Meteorite had been successfully collected. There was only one Green Mountain Quenching Wood Stone and the Brilliant Shadow Quenching Gold Stone. Su Chen had an idea. If he used the fusion gem to fuse these 4 god stones together, the weight of tens of thousands of pounds would be enough to crush most opponents. Later, he returned to the intelligent chariot and searched for the location of Jaina City on the central control screen. There were 50,000 zombies in Jaina City, and he would not let them go. Soon, he found the location of Jaina City, which was more than 700 miles away from here. When Wu Yang and the others finished digging and returned to the car, Su Chen directly ordered the intelligent chariot to go to Jaina City. After driving for about half an hour, the intelligent chariot sounded an alarm. Warning, there is a MCV approaching at high speed ahead. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. He had encountered this kind of thing many times. Was it looking for trouble again? Satoshi, don't worry about it. Keep driving. Su Chen did not care. No matter what the other party's purpose was, he was not afraid at all. Soon, the MCV rushed over and blocked the way of the intelligent chariot. At this moment, the other party's purpose was obvious, which was to stop him. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and looked outside. A MCV from Tongtian City? The MCV in front of him was also a black MCV, which looked no different from the one Shi was driving. After the intelligent chariot stopped, Su Chen went straight out of the car. 2 people also walked out of the MCV opposite. One was a middle-aged man with a beard, and the other was a handsome young man. The bearded man was Sun Tiangang from Tongtian City, and the handsome man was Emo Chenkong from Qilin Mountain. Brother Emo, it should be them. Sun Tiangang glanced at the intelligent war chariot and reminded. Before they came, they learned from the gray-haired old man that the fake Emo Chenkong was a young man who owned a silver MCV, and the Su Chen in front of him was a perfect match for the intelligent war chariot. Emo Chenkong nodded slightly with a cold glint in his eyes. He sneered at Su Chen, "Kid, you've got guts?" Su Chen rubbed his nose and said coolly, "What's the matter? If there's nothing else, then scram. A good dog doesn't block the way." Arrogant. Sun Tiangang was furious. Just as he was about to teach Su Chen a lesson, Emo Chenkong pulled him back. "Old Sun, this kid won't be able to escape." Emo Chenkong signaled Sun Tiangang not to worry. Then he said to Su Chen, "Boy, tell me, Why did you pretend to be me? Are you Emo Qingkong? Su Chen's interest was piqued. His purpose of pretending to be Emo Qingkong was very simple. He wanted to frame Qilin Mountain, but he didn't expect to attract the real master. That's me. Emo Qingkong snorted. Su Chen nodded and said bluntly, I pretended to be you because I don't like Qilin Mountain and wanted to frame them. What? Sun Tiangang was dumbfounded. He was now seriously wondering if there was something wrong with the young man's brain. Qilin Mountain was one of the 5 most powerful forces in Yulin. It was an existence that made people pale. Others couldn't avoid it, but this guy actually took the initiative to provoke it. Even if he wanted to die, he shouldn't take it so hard. Chapter 331. Emo Qingkong looked at Su Chen with interest and smiled grimly. Kid, where did you hear my name? He spent most of his time in the sect. If it were not for the whereabouts of his sister, Xianxia, he would not have gone out. Logically speaking, very few people would know his name. How did the young man in front of him know about it? Could it be related to Emo Qingkong? Thinking of this, he did not wait for Su Chen's reply and asked anxiously, Have you seen my sister? Are you talking about Emo Qingkong? Su Chen curled his lips. You've seen her? Where is she? Emo Qingkong's eyes widened in excitement. Unfortunately, she's dead. I killed her. Su Chen rubbed his nose. At this moment, the air seemed to have frozen. The surroundings fell into an eerie silence. Why did you kill her? The excitement on Emo Qingkong's face quickly dissipated and was replaced by a haze. His voice was as cold as a glacier. His eyes were filled with the flames of hatred as if he saw Su Chen as a dead man. Su Chen looked calm and smiled faintly. I didn't like her, so I killed her. When he killed Emo Qingkong, it was mainly because she had an affair with the people of Lion's Gate. He said this mainly to piss Emo Qingkong off. You little bastard, you're too arrogant. But Sun Tiangang, who was next to him, was so angry that he rushed towards Su Chen with the Otetsu sword. However, like before, he was stopped by Emo Qingkong. Old son, this person must die in my hands. Emo Qingkong gritted his teeth. As soon as he finished speaking, he leaped into the air with a long sword in his hand. Then, his body emitted a dazzling white light and his figure began to fade. It was as if he had become one with the long sword in his hand. At the same time, a violent sword essence and murderous aura spread out. Su Chen was the first to be targeted by tens of thousands of sword essences. Brat, let's see how arrogant you are. You're dead for sure this time. A cruel smile appeared on Sun Tiangong's face. He had heard of Emo Qingkong's move before. It was the Qilin Mountain's trump card, the body and sword fusion technique. After using this technique, the power that could be unleashed was enough to exceed one's own level. In other words, Emo Qingkong was now a level 4 evolver. After using the body and sword as one, his lethality had exceeded level 5. Sun Tiangang even felt that Emo Qingkong was overreacting. Su Chen was just a young man. Even if he was talented, he would at most be a level 3 evolver. Using a consummate skill like man and sword as one to kill him was simply thinking too highly of Su Chen. After sensing Emo Qingkong's strength, the people in the intelligent chariot looked a little nervous. In the face of such a terrifying swordsmanship secret skill, could Su Chen still be as invincible as before? Su Chen, it's up to you. Wu Yang's eyes were firm. In the past, every time Su Chen faced a powerful opponent, he would have doubts about Su Chen. He was worried that Su Chen would not be a match for him. But every time he came down, he realized that his worries were unnecessary. From this, he came to the conclusion that Su Chen was invincible. No one would be a match for him. This time, he firmly believed that Su Chen would still defeat his opponent. So what if his opponent was a genius from the Qilin Mountain? In front of Su Chen, wasn't he just an ant? On the other side, Su Chen faced Emo Qingkong's powerful attack and murmured indifferently, the Qilin Mountain has some real skills. Chapter 332. Go to hell. Ethereal Emo Qingkong quickly merged with the long sword in his hand. The next moment, a sword-shaped white torrent rolled towards Su Chen. Good timing. Su Chen laughed wantonly. He hadn't met a decent opponent for a long time. Mo Qinkong's performance was barely passable and worthy of him taking it seriously. A surge of fighting spirit surged in his heart. Su Chen didn't retreat. Instead, he clenched a golden fist and punched out. You overestimate yourself. Sun Tiangang sneered when he saw that Su Chen didn't dodge and even used his body to fight against Mo Qinkong. There was a loud rumbling sound. The white torrent collided with Su Chen's golden fist. After a short stalemate, the white torrent collapsed, revealing Mo Qinkong's true face. Then, Su Chen's fist smashed the long sword and landed heavily on Mo Qinkong's mouth. Ah! With a shrill scream, Mo Qinkong flew out like a kite with a broken string. Along the way, there was a splash of blood. This, Sun Tiangang was dumbfounded. His mind was in a mess. Qilin Mountain's unique skill, body and sword as one, couldn't even withstand a single blow. He was smashed like a dead dog by a punch? Is this real? I'm not dreaming, am I? Is body and sword as one just an undeserved reputation? Or is that young man unimaginably strong? At the same time, Yang Hao and the others on the intelligent chariot cheered. Awesome. Chen Gu is still as awesome as ever. Isn't that right? There is only one Chen Gu in the world. If he's not awesome, who is? Wu Yang clenched his fists and screamed in his heart, well done. I knew you were invincible. Su Chen walked up to Mo Qinkong and looked down at him. He sighed and said, Qilin Mountain is just so. Mo Qinkong was already seriously injured. When he heard this, he opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes rolled back and he fainted from anger. As a prodigy of the Qilin Mountain, he had his own dignity. However, in front of Su Chen, his dignity was shattered. His body and spirit suffered a double blow. Unable to bear it, he fainted. Su Chen snorted. He flicked an icicle with his finger and pierced Mo Qinkong's head. Sun Tiangang watched Mo Qinkong die in front of his eyes. His whole body was covered in cold sweat. At this moment, there was only one thought in his mind. Run, run quickly, run as far as you can. Just as Su Chen's gaze swept over him, Sun Tiangang turned around and ran. He ran as fast as a rabbit, maximizing the speed of a level 3 evolver. Is it too late to run now? Su Chen curled his lips and used the 100 times strength technique. He took out the Big Dipper star fragment stone from his storage bag and threw it out. He hadn't used the stone since he got it. He wanted to test it out. The stone drew a beautiful arc in the air and flew over Sun Tiangong's head in the blink of an eye. Then, several blue threads of light shot out from the stone and flew down, binding Sun Tiangang. The Big Dipper star fragment stone had the power of the stars, and it had the same binding effect as the spiritual force. After Sun Tiangang was frozen, the Big Dipper star fragment stone, just as it was about to hit Sun Tiangong's head, it suddenly became several feet long. With a boom, Sun Tiangang was smashed into the ground. No one knew if he was dead or alive. Chapter 333. Su Chen smacked his lips and said to himself, awesome. He didn't know that the Big Dipper star fragment stone could become bigger at first. When he got it, the feedback didn't mention it either. However, this kind of change was always a good thing. In the future, he would have another attack method. Moreover, the power of the Big Dipper star fragment stone was still very impressive. It was easy to kill a level 3 evolver. Against a level 4 evolver, he should have a high chance of smashing him to death. After a while, Su Chen walked forward and reached out to touch the Big Dipper star fragment stone. With a thought, it quickly shrank to the size of a fist and automatically flew into the storage bag. It was very spiritual. After the Big Dipper star fragment stone was taken away, a bloody meat patty appeared on the ground. Without a doubt, this meat patty was Sun Tiangang. Su Chen glanced at it and turned back to the intelligent war chariot. Su Chen, where are we going next? Wu Yang came to Su Chen's side and asked. Let's go to Jaina City first. There are 50,000 zombies there, Su Chen replied. So many. Yang Hao and the others were a little excited and a little nervous. Although they had killed more than 50,000 zombies before, it was the first time they faced 50,000 zombies at once. Behind, the intelligent war chariot continued to move towards Jaina City. After about half an hour, Su Chen asked it to stop and then began to prepare food. 50,000 zombies was not a small number. He didn't know how long it would take to kill them. Before that, he planned to fill his stomach first. An hour later, when everyone was full and was about to go on the road, the intelligent war chariot sounded an alarm. Warning, a large number of zombies and humans are approaching us. Su Chen was a little confused. When did humans and zombies get together? Were zombies chasing humans? Or were humans hunting zombies? Not understanding the situation, Su Chen turned to look at the central control screen. Thousands of red and blue dots were displayed on the central control screen, but it was different from what he had expected. Those red and blue dots weren't chasing after each other. Instead, they were coming over together. This meant that the zombies and humans were in a cooperative relationship and had come together. What were they trying to do? Are they here for me? Su Chen furrowed his brows and his mind raced. Wu Yang sensed that Su Chen's expression was somewhat unsightly. He asked in a low voice, Su Chen, what happened? Those zombies and humans are coming for us. Get ready to fight. Su Chen replied simply, then opened the door and walked out. There were only a few thousand zombies, but since they were delivered to his door, he took them all. Zombies actually dared to attack us? Shi Dainyu grinned and followed closely behind Su Chen with the sky hammer in hand. The others looked at each other and walked out of the car one after another. Not long after, 2 minibuses appeared in front of them, followed by thousands of zombies and humans. When they came close, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at them. He suddenly raised his eyebrows and sneered, "It turns out that they are from the Golden Hawk Gang." One of the minibuses had a golden eagle's head on the front, which was the unique symbol of the Golden Hawk Gang. In addition, the humans who rushed over were all dressed in black. They were dressed in the same way as the members of the Golden Hawk Gang that he had killed before. Based on these 2 points, Su Chen judged that the humans were from the Golden Hawk Gang. Chapter 334. How dare you come here to seek your own death? Su Chen's eyes flashed with a cold light. Originally, he planned to eradicate the Golden Hawk Gang, but he didn't expect that they would come here themselves, which saved him a lot of trouble. The zombie army and the Golden Hawk Gang came close and then spread out, surrounding Su Chen's group in the middle. The 2 minibuses stopped one after another. A skinny zombie with a gloomy face walked out of the minibus on the left. The one on the right was a bald man with one eye. As soon as they got out of the minibus, they looked at Su Chen's group with eyes full of hatred. After looking for a while, the bald man waved his hand and shouted, "Bring him here." 2 men from the Golden Hawk Gang took an old man and walked up. This old man was one of the people who had been caught by Xianxia. Su Chen had talked with him before, so he still had some impression of him. At this moment, he understood why the Golden Hawk Gang came here. It must be that after the old man left, he was caught by the Golden Hawk Gang and gave him away. Is it them? The bald man pointed at Su Chen's group and said sternly. The old man was so scared that he trembled and said, "It's them." The bald man smashed the old man's head with his palm, then looked at Su Chen's group and said coldly, "Among you, who killed my Golden Hawk Gang's people, come out and accept your death." This guy really knows how to show off. Chao Ran curled his lips. Who in Yulin doesn't show off? You'll get used to it. Yang Hao said disapprovingly. Since entering Yulin, they had met a lot of people, and almost everyone was awesome. Even the zombies could show off, so he was used to it. I killed them. Su Chen stepped forward and said lightly, "You are the leader of the Golden Hawk Gang, Jin Shuyang, right?" "I am Jin Shuyang." The one-eyed bald man replied proudly. Then he looked at Su Chen again. Disdain appeared on his face as he said disdainfully, "Boy, you really can boast shamelessly. You think you can kill Xianxia?" Su Chen looked less than 20 years old. How strong could he be? At most, he would be a level 3 evolver. Even though Xianxia was also level 3, she was one of the best among level 3 players. Even he might not be able to gain an advantage over her. The young man in front of him could kill Xianxia? Su Chen rubbed his nose and raised his voice. Not to mention Xianxia, even if all of you were added together, you are nothing more than ants in my eyes. I can destroy you with a single hand. These words were extremely domineering and arrogant, showing Su Chen's incomparable self-confidence. However, the person on the other side didn't think so. They all thought that Su Chen was a madman, and a madman who knew how to show off. Thousands of zombies and hundreds of elites from the Golden Hawk gang became ants? There should be a limit to showing off, right? Even a level 5 evolver wouldn't dare to be so arrogant. You are just a kid less than 20 years old. Who gave you the courage to say these words? Ha! Suddenly, laughter came from behind Xianxia. The gloomy-looking zombie raised his eyebrows and looked at Su Chen with interest. He asked, "Since you are so arrogant, do you dare to tell us your name?" "I am Mo Qingkong from the Qilin Mountain. What can you ants do to me?" Su Chen provoked. Chapter 335. You're from Qilin Mountain? Xianxia was shocked. He was too familiar with Qilin Mountain. It was one of the top 5 forces in Yulin. The Golden Hawk gang was also a subordinate force of Qilin Mountain. If the young man in front of him was really from Qilin Mountain, he really couldn't do anything to him. The anger of Qilin Mountain was definitely not something a third-rate gang like them could handle. However, there was one thing he didn't understand. If the young man in front of him was from Qilin Mountain, why did he kill the people of the Golden Hawk gang? Bullshit! The Eendov zombie suddenly shouted, "Kid, do you think I don't know Mo Qingkong? You dare to pretend to be from Qilin Mountain. You're quite brave. What's your name?" He was the mayor of Jinus City, Wuxia. As a zombie of 5 households, he could naturally come in contact with many powerful people. Although he wasn't familiar with Mo Qingkong, he had met him once. Therefore, he immediately saw through Su Chen and realized that he wasn't the real Mo Qingkong. Fake? Xianxia came to his senses and shouted, "Kid, you're King good. You even dare to lie to me. You'll suffer later." Su Chen rubbed his nose and chuckled, "Since you can't pretend anymore, then I'll tell you the truth. Listen, I'm your ancestor. Are you satisfied now? You're pissing me off." Xianxia was so angry that the veins on his face were popping out. Wuxia's face was also green. He gritted his teeth so hard that they creaked. At this point, Su Chen still dared to tease them. This was intolerable. Wuxia and Xianxia looked at each other and rushed toward Su Chen. Xianxia held a large ringed saber in his hand. As he ran, he raised the large ringed saber above his head, looking majestic. Although Wuxia was barehanded as a level 5 zombie, his body was obviously stronger than a human. At this moment, he threw a punch at Su Chen. "Level 4 evolver. Level 5 zombie. Is this your confidence?" Su Chen sneered. Just as Wuxia was about to rush over, a stone that was decorated with starlight suddenly appeared in his hand. Then, he casually tossed it towards Wuxia. Petty tricks. Seeing a fist-sized rock flying towards him, Wuxia gave a disdainful smile and turned his fist into a claw. Originally, he wanted to grab the stone, but the moment he touched it, he clearly felt an unparalleled force contained within it. What the hell? Wuxia's expression changed drastically. Just as he was about to exert his strength, that huge force had already crushed over. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. Wuxia's entire palm was smashed to smithereens, and even his body was sent flying. After landing on the ground, he spat out a mouthful of blood. He was already seriously injured. Although it was a level 5 zombie, it could not resist the power of the Big Dipper star fragment stone at all. What's more, he was caught off guard. Seeing this scene, Xianxia was almost scared out of his wits. A level 5 zombie couldn't even take a single hit from the opponent and was seriously injured? How were they supposed to fight? Wasn't this like hitting a rock with an egg? Although he knew this very well, Xianxia was already riding a tiger and could not get off. He had already rushed in front of Su Chen, and the large ringed sword had been accumulating power for a long time. It was too late to retract it now. In the end, he gritted his teeth and slashed at Su Chen with his saber. Su Chen acted as if he did not see it at all. He did not dodge or evade, allowing the sword to fall on his head. Seeing this, Xianxia was ecstatic and roared, "Go to hell!" In the next moment, the large ringed sword landed heavily on Su Chen's head, but strangely, it shattered. It did not even hurt Su Chen's skin. Chapter 336. Xianxia's mouth was wide open as he looked at the lonely sword in his hand and then at Su Chen. When he saw that Su Chen was unharmed, he was petrified. He could not understand why the powerful attack of a level 4 evolver was like a tickle to Su Chen. How strong was the body of this young man in front of him? Even a level 6 evolver could not compare to him. Was there any way he could survive against such a strong opponent? Dou Wei, who was not far away, also saw this scene. At this moment, he had completely forgotten the pain in his body. His heart was in a mess, and his breathing was stagnant. Su Chen's strength had given him an unprecedented shock. In his heart, he had an illusion that in front of Su Chen, he was no different from an ant. The Golden Hawk Gang has committed all kinds of evil. Even death cannot wipe out their crimes. Before Xianxia could react, Su Chen punched out. There was a loud explosion. Xianxia's head exploded into a flower of blood, and he died on the spot. Oh my God! He's not human! Run for your lives! When the remaining members of the Golden Hawk Gang saw that their leader was dead, they did not dare to continue staying there. They were scared and fled in all directions. Su Chen had already planned to completely eradicate the Golden Hawk Gang. How could he let them escape? Go to hell! Su Chen punched out from afar, and the sky was filled with fist shadows. The members of the Golden Hawk Gang cried like ghosts and howled like wolves. In the blink of an eye, more than 200 people were turned into piles of meat paste. Those who were further away and were lucky enough to escape the calamity began to flee for their lives. Fist secret technique. Dou Wei swallowed his saliva, and his heart sank to the bottom. How terrifying was it to kill more than 200 evolvers with one punch? Even a level 6 evolver could not do it. Could it be that he was a level 7 evolver? Thinking of this, Dou Wei was almost scared to death. Xiao Tai, chase after them. Leave no one alive. Su Chen ordered. The mechanical soldier chased after him and kept swinging the machete in its hand. Cries of agony could be heard. After dealing with the Golden Hawk Gang, Su Chen's gaze fell on Dou Wei. Being swept by Su Chen's gaze, Dou Wei felt as if he had fallen into an ice cellar, his entire body drenched in cold sweat. He knew that Su Chen would not let him go. The only thing he could do now was to escape quickly to save his life. All of you, kill him! Dou Wei roared, ordering all the zombies to attack Su Chen. As for himself, he took the opportunity to fly backwards. In his opinion, thousands of zombies would definitely not be able to kill Su Chen, but they should be able to delay him for a moment, right? As long as he had enough time to get on the MCV, he would have a chance to escape. Unfortunately, Su Chen would not give him this opportunity. The enchanted divine saber swept out, and a blue torrent swept up. In the midst of lightning and thunder, hundreds of zombies turned into ashes on the spot. There was also a vacuum between Su Chen and Dou Wei. Do you think you can escape? Su Chen smiled contemptuously, purple light curling around his feet. Then his feet moved, and like a hurricane he swept toward Dou Wei. In the blink of an eye, he had appeared in front of Dou Wei. Dou Wei was scared out of his wits, desperately screaming, "Save me!" There was a bang. Suddenly, the MCV behind Dou Wei burst into pieces. Then, a monster more than 10 meters in size rushed out from it. This monster was covered in a layer of gray fur, shaped like a tiger, and a pair of bell-like eyes exuded a cold blue light. Chapter 337. A dire beast? Su Chen slowly narrowed his eyes. A level 5 zombie that could collude with the Golden Hawk gang was most likely Do Wuji from Jaina City. He had already guessed this. Do Wuji had a dire beast, so he suspected that the tiger demon in front of him was a dire beast. Tiger demon, kill him, and I will give you more humans as food. Do Wuji pointed at Su Chen and roared. The dire beast's big eyes rolled around, as if it was extremely excited. Roar! With a roar, it leaped toward Su Chen. Its speed was as fast as lightning, and coupled with the strong pressure it exuded, there was no doubt that it was a dire beast comparable to a level 5 evolver. Feeling a foul stench coming toward him, Su Chen snorted coldly and swept out with his saber. After a burst of white light gathered on the saber, a white torrent swept forward. The white torrent contained an icy chill, and at this moment, the surrounding air seemed to be frozen solid. In the next moment, the white torrent and the dire beast collided. The dire beast's movement slowed, and its body was quickly covered with a layer of frost, which grew thicker and thicker. In the blink of an eye, its body was submerged, and it became a huge ice sculpture. Bang! The frozen dire beast lost its ability to move and fell heavily at Su Chen's feet. What level of icebound technique is this? Do Wuji's heart was like dead ashes, and this was the only thought in his mind. Su Chen's strength had left an indelible mark in his heart. He knew that in front of Su Chen, any means were child's play. It was impossible for him to escape with his life today. Although the dire beast was frozen, it was still a level 5 dire beast, and it would not sit still and wait for death. At this moment, it was desperately struggling to break through the ice. Su Chen glanced coldly and reached out to grab one of the dire beast's forelimbs. Then he used the 100 times strength technique and easily lifted it up, then slammed it on the ground. An earth-shattering boom resounded. The ferocious beast came into close contact with the ground, causing the ground to tremble as if there was an earthquake. After this heavy impact, the ice on the beast's body shattered and fell off. However, it was smashed until it was dizzy and saw stars. Just as he was feeling a little confused, he felt his body lighten, and he flew into the air again. Then, there was another heavy impact, and half of the bones in his body were shattered. Woo-woo! The ferocious beast howled in pain. At this moment, its heart was crumbling. Being smashed here and there like this, sooner or later he would become a pile of minced meat. Su Chen didn't care about any of this. He picked up the beast and smashed it. The more he smashed it, the more energetic he became. Bang bang bang. The sound of collisions continued to ring out. When Do Wuji saw this, he swallowed a mouthful of saliva and slumped weakly onto the ground. The scene in front of him made him feel inconceivable. A level 5 vicious beast that weighed tens of thousands of pounds was being held in the hands of a human like a dead dog and was being smashed here and there. Was this even something a human could do? Who could be his opponent? Boom! With the last sound of collisions, the dire beast had become a pile of minced meat. It couldn't be more dead. At the same time, 10 colorful beams of light shone from its corpse. 10 fragments. Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly, then he retracted his gaze and slowly walked towards Do Wuji. There were still a large number of zombies charging towards him, but they were all smashed into nothingness by him. Chapter 338. Wu Yang and the others were also killing zombies with the help of the intelligent war chariot. In the blink of an eye, thousands of zombies had been slaughtered. Su Chen walked to Do Wuji and was about to kill him. Do Wuji begged for mercy. "Senior, please spare my life. I'm a subordinate of the Black Cloud Emperor." If he wanted to live, he had to bring out someone powerful. As for the Heiyun Emperor, in his opinion, he could make Su Chen somewhat wary. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said, "The Black Cloud Emperor is also a zombie?" He would definitely kill Do Wuji, but before that, it would be good to ask for some useful information. Do Wuji hurriedly replied, "The Black Cloud Emperor is not a zombie. He's from the Undead Clan." Undead Clan? Su Chen raised his eyebrows. The Undead Clan was one of the 5 super clans. He had encountered them twice in the Huanglin district, but he did not expect to see them in the Yulin district. Moreover, it sounded like the Black Cloud Emperor's power was not small. What's the Black Cloud Emperor's cultivation? How many zombies does he control? Suchen asked in a deep voice. He's a level 6 evolver. All the zombies in the Yulin district are under his control. There are millions of them. Do Wuji replied truthfully. Hearing this, Suchen gasped. The Black Cloud Emperor's strength was something he did not expect. Then why doesn't he rule Qinyu Island? Suchen was puzzled. Logically speaking, a level 6 evolver with millions of zombies should be enough to sweep the entire Qinyu Island. However, the Yulin district's strength was mixed, and the various forces seemed to be in a state of confrontation. This was something he could not figure out. Because there are 4 other forces that are on par with the Black Cloud Emperor. They are evenly matched and no one can do anything to the other. Do Wuji explained. There are 4 other forces? Suchen asked anxiously. Before he came, he thought that the strongest forces in the Yulin district were the Hidden Fog sect, Lion's Gate, and Tongtian City. But as he slowly came into contact with Yulin, he realized that Yulin was not as simple as it seemed on the surface. Great forces like the Hidden Fog sect were just small fries. There's also the Qilin Mountain, the Forgotten Valley, the Tianqi Mountain, and the Kongdong Mountain Range. Do Wuji replied honestly. Suchen knew the first 3, but he had never heard of the Kongdong Mountain Range. He asked, what kind of power is the Kongdong Mountain Range? The Kongdong Mountain Range is the world of mutated beasts. Their leader is a level 6 bloodthirsty demon wolf. Level 6 mutated beast. Suchen's brows furrowed slightly as he continued to ask. In that case, the 3 major forces of Qilin Mountain also have level 6 existences? Do Wei nodded. Suchen was a little puzzled. According to his understanding, the 3 great powers of the Qilin Mountain should belong to the human race. However, how could there be a level 6 existence among the humans? Are Qilin Mountain, Forgotten Sorrow Valley, and Tianqi Mountain human forces? Suchen decided to confirm. No. Do Wei shook his head. Do Wei shook his head and said, the Qilin Mountain is supported by the Imperial Beast Tribe. The Forgotten Sorrow Valley should belong to the Dharma race. The Tianqi Mountain has a strong fighter from the Flying Feather race. Suchen was secretly shocked. He did not expect the 5 super forces of the Yulin district to be controlled by the mutated races. And the humans seemed to be their subordinate forces. Moreover, the Dharma race existed among them. The Dharma race was proficient in spells and was also one of the 5 super forces. In addition to the undead race, there were actually 2 super forces in the Yulin district. And since the Imperial Beast Tribe and the Flying Feather race were able to compete with these 2 super forces, they should not be too weak. Chapter 339. Senior, I've said everything I need to say. Can you spare my life? Do Wuming asked weakly. Suchen rubbed his nose. You're a level 5 zombie. If I don't kill you, I won't be able to get fragments. The higher the zombie's level, the higher the chance of getting fragments. Level 5 zombies had a 100% chance of dropping fragments. Fragments? What do you mean? Do Wuming was still in a daze when Suchen punched him in the head. The moment he fell, 2 orange fragments appeared on his body. On the other side, Wu Yang and the others were still hunting zombies. However, there were not many zombies left. Suchen did not help them and started picking up fragments instead. The first thing he picked up were the 2 orange fragments that were close to him. Picked up Super Ancient Devouring Gorilla Mosquito, Fragment X1, Toots 10. Fragments are not full and cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. Suchen had high expectations for this mosquito. He did not choose to exchange it and went to grab the second fragment. The second fragment was also the Super Ancient Devouring Gorilla Mosquito. Suchen sighed and squinted his eyes as he looked around. Soon, hundreds of fragments appeared in his vision. Moreover, he realized that there were more than 30 orange fragments. This situation had never happened before. Can I collect all of the Super Ancient Devouring Gorilla Mosquito? Su Chen was tempted. Then, he continued to pick up fragments. An hour later, all the fragments had been collected. Su Chen got his wish and collected all of the super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito and exchanged it. What appeared in his hand was a mosquito the size of a thumb that was shining with golden light. Other than its body being bigger, it was no different from a normal mosquito. The feedback he received was that the super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito was an insect beast that evolved by absorbing the blood of mutated beasts. At first, it was just a normal mosquito with no attack power. Even a normal person could kill it. However, after absorbing the blood of a level 1 mutated beast, it would evolve into a level 1 insect beast and its combat power would soar. The higher the level of the mutated beast it absorbed, the higher its level. Of course, there was a gradual process in between. Under normal circumstances, it could only absorb level 1 mutated beasts. He would only be able to absorb level 2 mutated beasts after reaching level 1. He would not be able to absorb mutated beasts that were 1 level higher than him. If it was too high, not only would he not be able to complete the upgrade, he might even die from overeating. Not bad. Looking at the golden mosquito in his hand, Su Chen nodded slightly. In this world, there were many mutant beasts. With him as its master, the super ancient devouring adamantine mosquito did not have to worry about not having enough mutated beasts to devour. In this way, he could quickly increase his strength. He might even reach level 5 very soon, or even level 6. After reaching level 6, Su Chen had gained another powerful fighter. Without a doubt, his strength had increased by a large margin. Later, he put the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquito into the pet breeding space and returned to the intelligent war chariot. Wu Yang and the others were still digging for energy stones. Su Chen had nothing to do, so he looked at the central control screen. There were no red or black dots on the central control screen. Instead, a large number of blue dots appeared, numbering in the tens of thousands. The location was not in the city, but in a plain. This piqued Su Chen's interest. He originally wanted to go to Jaina City, and this human gathering place happened to be on his way. He wanted to go over and see what was going on. Chapter 340. When Wu Yang and the others finished digging up the energy stones and returned to the car, Su Chen let the intelligent chariot go to the place where the humans were gathered. An hour later, a large number of humans appeared in front of the intelligent chariot. Some shouting could be heard faintly. Newly unearthed 10-year-old ginseng, cheap price, only 10 ordinary energy stones. 1 complete level 2 firefox fur can be used to make defensive armor, can resist the attacks of level 2 evolvers and spellcasters, affordable price, only 15 energy stones. Tong, an arms shop, produces all kinds of weapons. Killing zombies is as easy as pie, definitely worth it, don't miss it. Is this a market? Su Chen was a little confused. He had been in the apocalypse for more than a year, and he had never seen so many big markets. Moreover, with so many people gathered together and defenseless, were they not afraid of being attacked by zombies? Su Chen, this seems to be a market selling things, should we go down and take a look? Wu Yang suggested. Places like markets were very rare. Not only Wu Yang was interested, but the others also gathered around Su Chen. Obviously, they all wanted to go down and take a look. Since everyone is interested, let's go down and take a look. Su Chen also did not want to miss this opportunity. In addition, he also wanted to know why this market dared to be opened so openly. Great. Yang Hao and the others were suddenly excited. Su Chen left the 3 mutant wolves and the mechanical soldier in the car and led the others out one after another. As soon as they entered the market, a skinny middle-aged man enthusiastically greeted Su Chen and the others. Friends, I have fresh 5 sun fruits, 1 ordinary energy stone for 1. They taste very delicious. He saw that Su Chen and the others were dressed well and drove a very beautiful MCV, so he assumed that Su Chen and the others were rich, which was why he was so enthusiastic. Su Chen's planting dimension had many kinds of fruits, most of which were fruits from his previous life. As for the fruits in this world, he had never seen or eaten any of them, so he wanted to try them. Give me 20 first. Su Chen took out 10 energy stones and placed them in the skinny man's hand. The skinny man beamed with joy and hurriedly picked 25 sunfruits that looked pretty good. Have a taste. Su Chen paid attention to them one by one. He also took one and examined it in front of him. The 5 sunfruit was the size of an adult's fist. It was green in color and emitted a faint fruity fragrance. Su Chen took a bite and felt that the taste was not bad. It was sweet and delicious, and there was a lot of juice. It was similar to the pears in his previous life. How do you feel about the taste? After eating a 5 sunfruit, Su Chen asked the others. It's delicious. It's too sweet, Sherdania mumbled. Tan Lin and the others nodded in agreement. Su Chen turned to the skinny man. Boss, how many 5 sunfruits do you have? I'll take care of everything. Everything? The skinny man was stunned for a moment, then became ecstatic. He had a total of 305 sunfruits. If he sold all of them, he would make at least 50 energy stones. It was definitely a huge fortune for him. 300 in total. If you want all of them, just give me 140 energy stones, the skinny man said with a smile. As if he was afraid that Su Chen would go back on his word, he took the initiative to lower the price. However, even if he only earned 40 energy stones, he would be satisfied. No need. I'll give you as much as you want. Su Chen directly took out 150 energy stones. He was not interested in such a small amount of energy stones at all. In addition, the reason why he wanted to buy all of them was that he had something to ask the skinny man. Chapter 341. The skinny man knew that he met a tycoon. He didn't stand on ceremony with Su Chen and happily accepted the energy stone. Su Chen kept the 5 sunfruit in his storage bag and asked, Boss, can I ask what's the name of this market? Tiansong Plain Market. The skinny man's mind was on the energy stone in his hand as he replied casually. Is this market organized by you or by some powerful forces? Su Chen continued to ask. Of course it's established by a powerful force. If we didn't have the support of a powerful force, we would have been wiped out a long time ago. The skinny man raised his head and looked at Su Chen as he said, You're not a local, right? I came from Huanglin district. Su Chen nodded. I see. The skinny man realized. He had heard of Huanglin district before. It was rumored that it was a barren place and couldn't be compared to Yulin district. It was rare to see someone like Su Chen who came from Huanglin district and was generous. Which force established this place? Su Chen asked again. This place is under the influence of Lion's Gate. The skinny man said bluntly. Lion's Gate was in Yulin district and was one of the 3 major forces on the surface. The one who supported it was Tianxia Mountain. Tianxia Mountain was guarded by the Flying Feather race. This meant that this place was under the influence of the Flying Feather race. Su Chen asked calmly, I heard that there's a Jaina city nearby. There are tens of thousands of zombies there. Aren't you worried that they will suddenly attack? The skinny man smiled. All the major forces in Yulin district have their own territories. They have already reached an agreement that they can't kill each other. If they violate the agreement, they will be attacked by the other forces. After understanding what was going on, Su Chen said goodbye to the skinny man and went to other parts of the market with the others. Go, we want to go to other places. After walking around the market for a while, Yang Hao came to Su Chen's side and said. When he thought about how they wouldn't encounter any danger here, Su Chen agreed. At the same time, he took out a large number of energy stones and distributed them, allowing them to buy whatever they wanted. Thank you, Chengge. Yang Hao and the others were overjoyed and ran away. Sure Duo didn't want to be a third wheel, so she left with them. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian looked at each other and walked towards a weapon shop together. Su Chen led Tan Lin and Yang Qian, the 2 beauties, to block the road. The 3 of them chatted and laughed as they walked through the market. When they passed by a street stall, Su Chen stopped. This was a stall selling medicinal herbs. There was a coarse cloth on the ground, and many types of medicinal herbs were placed on it. These herbs were usually used to refine pills or heal injuries. Originally, Su Chen didn't even think much of it. However, he faintly sensed a weak mental power fluctuation from the medicinal herbs. There were very few medicinal herbs that could produce mental power, and they were not ordinary. Su Chen released his mental power and quickly found the source of this mental power. It came from a very inconspicuous brown leaf. "Boss, what kind of leaf is this?" Su Chen held the leaf in his hand and looked at it before asking the stall owner. The stall owner was an old man in his 70s. He blinked and said, "This fell from an unknown plant." Su Chen nodded and sent the leaf into the planting space. He contacted the longevity fruit tree. "Xiao Shou, do you know the origin of this leaf?" The longevity fruit tree looked at it for a while and suddenly said excitedly, "Master, this is the leaf of the essence fruit tree." Chapter 342. Su Chen asked anxiously, "Boss, where's that plant?" The essence fruit tree was one of the sacred items of the monster plant clan. The fruits it bore could increase one's spiritual power. Its value was not below that of the longevity fruit tree. Su Chen had long coveted it. It was an opportunity for him to know the whereabouts of the essence fruit tree. He would not miss it. "Someone bought it," the stall owner said casually. He did not know what the essence fruit tree was. He only sold it as an unknown herb, so he did not pay much attention to it. "Who bought it?" Su Chen was a little anxious. The essence fruit tree was too important to him. Although his three main professions were all at level 4, they were the weakest compared to the spiritual psychic master and evolver. If he did not seize the time to level up, he might become useless in the end. This was something he did not want to see. "Too many people bought my stuff. Who would remember?" The stall owner shook his head. Actually, he had some recollection of it. However, Su Chen did not buy his stuff. Why should he tell him? Think about it again. Su Chen took out a handful of energy stones and stuffed them into the stall owner's hands. Looking at the sparkling energy stones in his hands, the stall owner's eyes widened. He smiled and said, "I remember now. I think it was bought by the Jade Forest shop in Sky Connect City." "How long have they been gone?" Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. If the people from the Jade Forest shop had not been gone for long, he could have snatched the essence fruit tree back. "They've been gone for half a day. They should be back in Sky Connect City by now," the stall owner replied after thinking for a while. Su Chen's expression darkened. He nodded and left with Tan Lin and the other two girls. Since the people from the Jade Forest shop had left for so long, it was too late to chase after them now. However, he had planned to go to Sky Connect City anyway. As long as he knew who the buyer was, he would get the essence fruit tree no matter what. "Su Chen, is that plant very important to you?" Tan Lin asked curiously. He had never seen Su Chen care so much about something. "Very important," Su Chen replied. "Then let's go to Heaven Connect City now," Tan Lin suggested. "There's no rush. It's not easy to come to the market. Let's take a look around first," Su Chen said with a smile. In any case, he would have to go to Heaven Connect City sooner or later, so there was no hurry. After that, the three of them walked around for a while and bought many things that they had never seen before. Just as he was about to return to the intelligent chariot, Su Chen suddenly found an acquaintance, so he walked up and greeted him. "Uncle, what a coincidence to meet you here." This familiar person was the white-haired old man who had entered the Yulin area before. "It's you." When he saw clearly that it was Su Chen, the white-haired old man's eyes were filled with terror. It was as if he had seen a ghost, and he immediately ran away. Seeing the other party quickly disappear into the crowd, Su Chen was stunned and muttered, "Is there something wrong with this old man?" Su Chen did not know that ever since he had met Sun Tiangang in Heaven Connect City, the white-haired old man had already known that Su Chen was pretending to be a member of the Qilin Mountain and killing people everywhere. If he got too close to Su Chen and was discovered, he would be killed. Su Chen did not think too much and continued to walk towards the intelligent chariot. However, he had only taken a few steps when a fierce quarrel suddenly sounded not far away. "It's Yang Hao's voice." Yang Qian's expression suddenly changed. Su Chen also heard it. In the quarrel, not only Yang Hao, but also Chao Ran and the others. Let's go and take a look. Su Chen was afraid that Yang Hao and the others would be at a disadvantage, so he took the lead and walked towards the quarrel. Chapter 343. Su Chen and the other two quickly arrived at a stall selling ores. At this moment, the stall was surrounded by a crowd of onlookers. From time to time, people were whispering to each other. Where did those idiots come from? How dare they snatch something from Lion's Gate? They must be tired of living. Young people have not seen the world. Once bitten, twice shy. They're going to be dead soon. What chance do they have? That's true. No one who offends Lion's Gate has a good ending. Hearing this, Su Chen vaguely guessed that Yang Hao and the rest might have had a conflict with Lion's Gate. Speaking of which, he had a deep feud with Lion's Gate. That day, when he was on his way to Full Moon City, a master from Lion's Gate died in his hands. It could be said that he did not have a good impression of Lion's Gate. At this moment, Chao Ran suddenly scolded, "Do you have any shame? We clearly bought this first. How did it become yours? Do you know who we are? We are from Lion's Gate. Are you tired of living? How dare you snatch something from Lion's Gate?" A shifty-eyed middle-aged man from Lion's Gate pointed at Chao Ran's nose and scolded. Xianxia walked forward and said disdainfully, "Let's not talk about the small fries from Lion's Gate. Even if Li Zhantian was here, I would smash him to death with my hammer if he dared to snatch something from us." Once he said this, there was an uproar. Damn, this kid is too arrogant. He's finished. This kid even dared to scold the sect leader of Lion's Gate. Even the gods can't save him now. Isn't it good to be alive? Why do you have to seek your own death? The surrounding onlookers were all discussing Xianxia. They all agreed that Xianxia would definitely die. Even if he died, his fate would be extremely miserable. Su Chen clicked his tongue and said to himself, ever since Dainyu walked on the path of arrogance, he can't pull himself out and is sinking deeper and deeper. Xianxia was only a level 2 evolver. Even if his strength was far beyond his peers, he was still no match for the level 4 Li Zhantian. You want to smash him to death with a hammer? That was a little too much. However, they were all on the same side after all. Naturally, he would not watch Xianxia suffer. Then, he pushed through the crowd and squeezed in with Tan Lin and Yang Qian. The shifty-eyed man suddenly flew into a rage. He gritted his teeth and said, "Boy, you dare to insult our sect master. You deserve to die. Kneel down now and I can give you a quick death. Go and scold the person next door." Chao Ran cursed. Just as he was about to speak, Su Chen had already arrived beside them. "What's going on? I heard that someone wants to rob your things?" Su Chen glanced at them and said indifferently, "Chengu." Seeing that it was Su Chen, Xianxia and the others were overjoyed and gathered around Su Chen. Yang Hao took out a piece of black ore and put it in front of Su Chen. He explained, "Chengu, we saw that this stone looked a little like a star-gathering stone, so we bought it with energy stones." Unexpectedly, these guys from Lion's Gate also took a fancy to this ore and insisted on robbing us. Su Chen nodded and said sternly, "I, Mo Chen Kong, have always adhered to the principle of not offending people who don't offend me. But if anyone dares to bully me, they are digging their own graves." After saying this, he looked at the shifty-eyed man and sneered, "Daini, kill him." Chapter 344. F***CK. Su Chen's words caused an uproar among the onlookers. They had thought that Xianxia was arrogant enough. Who would have thought that Su Chen would be even more arrogant? The moment he appeared, he wanted to kill the men from Lion's Gate. They were all from the same family. They were obviously a bunch of lunatics. After hearing Su Chen's words, Xianxia charged forward with the heaven-reaching hammer without hesitation. "How dare you!" the shifty-eyed man roared. Just as he was about to retaliate, he was shocked to find that his entire body was restrained by an invisible force. He could not move at all. "Don't kill me!" In a moment of desperation, he begged loudly for mercy. However, Sherdaniu was not moved at all. He smashed the hammer down. There was a loud bang. The shifty-eyed man was smashed into a pile of minced meat. Bright red blood splattered everywhere and dyed the ground red. Hiss! Witnessing this scene, the onlookers gasped. The white-haired old man, who had met Su Chen several times, happened to pass by. When he saw that Su Chen was killing people here again, he could not help but exclaim in his heart. He exclaimed in his heart, "Oh my God! This guy is definitely a god of plague. Wherever he goes, people will die. I must stay far away from him." Then he turned around and left the market. They really killed the men from Lion's Gate. They are indeed a bunch of lunatics. Oh my God, the guy with the hammer is so powerful. The onlookers were inexplicably frightened. They could not help but step back, afraid that they would get into trouble if they got too close to Su Chen and the rest. The remaining men from Lion's Gate were stunned for a moment. Then, they shouted at Sherdaniu, "Boy, you're finished. How dare you kill our men from Lion's Gate? Even if you die 1,000 times, you won't be able to wash away your sins." Even though they were extremely angry, no one dared to make a move. The reason was that they were intimidated by Sherdaniu's strength. The shifty-eyed man was a level 2 evolved human. Yet, he was smashed into minced meat by Sherdaniu's hammer. They were only level 1 evolved humans. If they went up against someone as strong as Sherdaniu, wouldn't they be courting death? These pieces of trash are too noisy. Kill them. Su Chen snorted coldly and gave Yang Hao and the rest a look. In any case, he had already formed a grudge with the Wild Lion sect. Killing one was killing, even if he killed 100 of them. Yang Hao and the other 3 rushed forward excitedly. With a raise of their swords, they cleanly killed the Wild Lion sect members on the spot. The smell of blood quickly spread, and the entire market fell into a strange silence at this moment. Everyone looked at Su Chen and the others with awe in their eyes. Arrogant, domineering, unscrupulous, and they were powerful. This was their evaluation of Su Chen and the rest. In the Tiansong Plain Market, it had always been Lion's Gate who bullied others. When had Lion's Gate ever been killed? Lion's Gate was one of the top 3 powers. Would they tolerate this? The answer was obvious. Soon, a large group of people from Lion's Gate heard the news and rushed over. It's Tang Zhan from Lion's Gate. This group of outsiders is dead meat. Deputy clan leader Tang is personally involved. Who can be his opponent? Tang Zhan's appearance caused a commotion. The onlookers retreated again and made way for him. Tang Zhan was not only the deputy clan leader of Lion's Gate, but he was also the person in charge of the Tiansong Plain Market. When he received the news that the men from Lion's Gate were killed, he naturally came to investigate. His strength was also quite good, as he was a level 3 evolver. Lion's Gate was full of experts. Tang Zhan could be ranked in the top 10. Chapter 345. Who dares to kill the people of Lion's Gate? Come out and accept your death. Tang Zhan was a middle-aged man with a short stature. Once he appeared, he shouted loudly, "It was me, your grandfather, who killed them." Su Chen snorted, his face full of disdain. It was as if the masters of Lion's Gate were just a bunch of ants in his eyes. This guy dares to be so arrogant in front of Tang Zhan? The ignorant are fearless. He is still too young. As soon as Su Chen's voice fell, there were whispers all around again. Tang Zhan's mouth twitched. He suppressed the anger in his heart and glanced coldly at Su Chen. He gritted his teeth and said, "Brat, you are still so arrogant even in the face of death. You have successfully attracted my attention. Do you dare to tell me your name?" In his eyes, Su Chen was already a dead man. However, just killing Su Chen and the others was not enough to quell the anger in his heart. He wanted to take the opportunity to eliminate the forces behind Su Chen. He wanted to let the world understand that the price to pay for offending the people of Lion's Gate was not just death, but the 9 generations of the family. What's there to be afraid of? Listen carefully, my name is Mo Ching Kong. Su Chen snorted and curled his lips. Also, let me tell you another piece of news. The useless young master of Lionsgate was also killed by me. As soon as these words were spoken, the surroundings were shaken. There were a few young masters of Lionsgate. However, only one of them had gone missing recently. That was Li Maheo. Li Maheo was the favorite son of Li Zhantian, the leader of Lionsgate. Killing Li Zhantian's family was equivalent to provoking the anger of the entire Lionsgate. This young man named Emo Chenkong, in front of him, was simply too arrogant. "It's you." Tang Zhan's face was filled with rage, but his heart was filled with excitement. Since Li Maheo had died at the hands of Emo Chenkong, as long as he could capture or kill Emo Chenkong, he would have made a great contribution. He would also be favored by Li Zhantian. As such, his position in Lionsgate would be even more stable. Thinking of this, he could not hide the excitement in his heart. With a loud roar, he charged straight at Su Chen. As a level 3 evolver, his speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he had arrived in front of Su Chen. "Die, brat." Tang Zhan grinned hideously as he clenched his bowl-sized fist and smashed it at Su Chen's face. "You're just an ant." Su Chen sneered and also punched out. There was a loud explosion. Tang Zhan was smashed into smithereens by Su Chen's punch. Witnessing this scene, everyone was stunned. Even their breathing stopped. One punch, just one punch, and one of the top 10 in Lionsgate was smashed into smithereens. Since when did a level 3 evolver become so weak? Was this real? After killing Tang Zhan, Su Chen's gaze fell on the other people from Lionsgate. The corner of his mouth twitched. "Your boss is dead, aren't you going to accompany him?" What did he mean? Those who did not react were stunned. Those who reacted were scared out of their wits. The meaning of Su Chen's words was clearly telling them to go and die. What should they do? Wait for death? Or fight it out with him? A wave of panic spread in their hearts. Facing Su Chen, who could easily kill a level 3 evolver, how could they fight it out with him? "Run!" Not sure who shouted, but the people from Lionsgate turned and fled. Su Chen's eyes turned cold. He casually shot out a wind blade, followed by a wave of wailing and howling. Oh my god! He was also a powerful Dharma psychic. The surrounding onlookers were once again in deep shock. Chapter 346. Yang Hao, show me that piece of ore. After killing the people from Lionsgate, Su Chen turned to Yang Hao and said. Without saying a word, Yang Hao handed the ore in his hand to Su Chen. Su Chen took a closer look and saw that the ore in his hand was as black as ink, with a little bit of starlight shining in it. From its appearance, it was indeed somewhat similar to the star-gathering stone. However, the star-gathering stone emitted the power of thunder and lightning, while the ore in his hand gave off a thick and heavy feeling. Su Chen waited and looked at the stall owner. "Boss, do you have any more of this ore?" Although he did not know the origin of the ore, he felt that it should have some value. If the stall owner had more, he wanted to buy all of it. The stall owner trembled and said hurriedly, "Senior, there is only one piece of this ore." "Where did you get it?" Su Chen asked again. "I bought it from Yuanyang town a few days ago," the stall owner replied truthfully. Su Chen did not ask any more questions and returned to the intelligent war chariot, with everyone. Once in the chariot, Su Chen communicated with the intelligent war chariot. "Satoshi, do you recognize this ore?" "Master, this is an Earth Star Vein Condensation Stone. It can upgrade my defense." The intelligent war chariot was a little excited when it spoke. Su Chen's eyes lit up instantly, and he hurriedly asked, "How many pieces do I need to upgrade your defense?" The intelligent war chariot's defense was currently at level 3 and could withstand the attack of a level 3 creature. After upgrading, it could withstand the attack of a level 4 creature. Originally, upgrading to level 4 defense required a large number of level 4 energy stones. Su Chen could not get them in a short period of time, but now that he had the Earth Star Vein Condensation Stone, he could upgrade it in advance. How could he not be excited? "About 20 pieces, the intelligent war chariot thought for a while and replied. Su Chen nodded slightly and looked at the central control screen, looking for the location of Yuanyang town. Since the Earth Star Vein congealing stone appeared in Yuanyang Town, he had to make a trip there. Satoshi, search for the location of Yuanyang Town. Su Chen ordered. Yes. The image on the central control screen changed and soon showed Yuanyang Town. Su Chen saw that Yuanyang Town was only a few hundred kilometers away from here, and it was very close to Heaven Connect City. He had originally planned to go to Heaven Connect City, which would save him a lot of time. Satoshi, lock onto Yuanyang Town. Let's go there first, Su Chen said. Previously, he wanted to go to Jaina City to kill the zombies, but the central control screen showed that there was not a single zombie in Jaina City. The zombies there must have received the news of Do Wuwei's death and fled Jaina City. Without zombies, going to Jaina City would be meaningless. Got it. The intelligent war chariot ignited and sped up. 2 hours later, the intelligent war chariot arrived at Yuanyang Town. Perhaps because it was relatively close to Heaven Connect City, Yuanyang Town looked relatively prosperous. People came and went in the town, and it was very lively. Su Chen let the still functional war chariot stop outside the town and entered Yuanyang Town alone. After spending some energy stones, he easily found out the news of the Earth Star Vein congealing stone. It turned out that the Earth Star Vein congealing stone was a meteorite that fell from the sky. It fell in Yuanyuan Town a few days ago and was picked up by a man surnamed Huang. Because he didn't know what the Earth Star Vein congealing stone was, he sold it all. Moreover, most of it was bought by the Jade Forest shop in Heaven Connect City. The Jade Forest shop has a good eye, Su Chen murmured with narrowed eyes. The essence fruit tree also fell into the hands of the Jade Forest shop, which was enough to prove that the people of the Jade Forest shop were indeed skilled in treasure appraisal. Chapter 347. After learning the whereabouts of the Earth Star Vein condensation stone, Su Chen did not stay any longer and returned to the intelligent war chariot. The next destination was naturally Tongtian City. The distance between Yuanyang Town and Tongtian City was less than 100 miles. With the speed of the intelligent war chariot, it would take less than an hour to arrive. Under Su Chen's signal, the intelligent war chariot drove toward Tongtian City. Unexpectedly, after just 10 minutes of driving, they were blocked by 3 MCVs. Su Chen had too many enemies now, and he did not know which force they belonged to. He did not think much about it and got out of the MCV with the mechanical soldier. No matter who the other party was, as long as they were looking for trouble, it was tantamount to courting death. More than a dozen men got out of the 3 MCVs. The leader was a middle-aged man with red hair and a majestic aura. This person's appearance was coarse, and his eyes were ferocious. He was like a lion in a state of rage, and his entire body was emitting a ruthless killing intent. Little brat, you're the one who killed my son and slaughtered many of my wild lion sects disciples in the Sky Granary Plains? The red-haired man's gaze swept over Su Chen as he questioned coldly. So you are Li Zhantian? Su Chen squinted his eyes and lightly said, That's right, I killed that group of trash. If you want to die, I can fulfill your wish. Arrogant. Li Zhantian snorted and waved his hand. Let's go together and kill him. Suddenly, except for a tall and thin fair-skinned man who did not move, the rest of the people rushed towards Su Chen with weapons. Among the people who rushed over, the strongest was only level 3. Su Chen smiled contemptuously. Should I kill them? Yes. A cold light flashed in the eyes of the mechanical soldier, and it rushed forward like a steel beast. Pucci, the mechanical soldier, kept waving its scimitar, and every time it slashed down, a person would be cut in half. The other party had the advantage in numbers, but none of them were a match for them. They were like lambs waiting to be slaughtered. As a level 4 mechanical soldier, its combat power was comparable to a level 5 evolver. It was too easy for it to deal with a group of evolvers below level 3. What a powerful puppet! Witnessing this scene, Li Zhantian's eyelids twitched. The face of the fair-skinned man beside him was also gloomy. After exchanging glances, the two of them simultaneously attacked Su Chen. They all knew that the steel golem was most likely a level 4 golem. Their subordinates would not be able to withstand it and would be slaughtered in no time. Once all of his subordinates were dead, the puppet would join forces with Su Chen, and they would not be able to take advantage of the situation. Therefore, they had to gain the initiative by striking first. They had to join hands and kill Su Chen before their subordinates died. Li Zhantian grasped a golden sledgehammer and rushed towards Su Chen. With the momentum of Mount Tai, he smashed it down on his head. The fair-skinned man stood still, but a silver longbow appeared in his hand. At this moment, he had already drawn his bow and aimed at Su Chen. Seeing this, Su Chen curled his lips. When the golden sledgehammer was about to hit him, he directly reached out and grabbed it. The golden sledgehammer smashed down like a meteor and fell on Su Chen's palm. It immediately stopped its downward momentum and became unable to move. How is this possible? Li Zhantian's face changed dramatically as he screamed in shock. One must know that the golden sledgehammer weighed 1,000 pounds. Coupled with the strength of a level 4 evolver, the strength of this hammer was more than 10,000 pounds. Yet, it was easily caught in the other party's hand and could not move. This was too inconceivable. Chapter 348. Just as Li Zhantian was in a daze, Su Chen pulled off the golden sledgehammer and punched out. Li Zhantian was shocked and instinctively wanted to retreat, but he was horrified to find that there was an invisible force around him, binding him as if he had fallen into a swamp. Mental strength. Li Zhantian realized that he was bound by mental strength, and the fear in his heart reached the extreme. He screamed at the fair-skinned man, "Save me!" The fair-skinned man saw that Li Zhantian was in danger and did not hesitate to shoot an arrow. Clang! A silver light shot out and instantly flew in front of Su Chen. "Boy, let's see what you choose." The fair-skinned man smiled gloomily. In his opinion, if Su Chen continued to kill Li Zhantian, he could certainly kill Li Zhantian. But he would also suffer a fatal blow. A strong person like Su Chen must cherish his life. He also thought that Su Chen would choose to dodge. In this way, he could save Li Zhantian. Unfortunately, there was one thing that he did not know. Su Chen had the ancient god-demon body and could ignore any attack of the same level. The fair-skinned man was also a level 4 evolver. Even if he used all his strength, he could not hurt Su Chen at all. Su Chen ignored the flying arrow and still punched down. No! Li Zhantian let out a desperate roar. There was a loud explosion. Li Zhantian's head was smashed just as he roared. Why didn't he dodge? Is he not afraid of death? Seeing Su Chen kill Li Zhantian without hesitation, completely ignoring the flying arrow, the fair-skinned man had deep doubts. But the next moment, the scene that appeared almost scared him to death on the spot. The silver arrow hit Su Chen's chest heavily, but it was as if it hit a piece of steel plate, and it bounced off. He has an indestructible body? At this moment, the fair-skinned man was stunned. However, he quickly came back to his senses, and a pair of white wings suddenly spread out from his back. He flapped them a few times, and his body soared into the sky. This was the rhythm of preparing to escape. He knew very well that with Su Chen's immense strength and indestructible body, even a level 6 evolver might not be able to do anything to him. If he didn't escape, his life would be in danger. Outsiders. Su Chen was slightly stunned when he saw the fair-skinned man suddenly grow a pair of wings. The human race didn't have this ability, but he had seen a winged alien twice. They were the Night Demon Clan and the Blood Clan. He was rather surprised to see a winged alien again. However, since he was sure that the other party was from another race, he naturally wouldn't let him go. Although they couldn't fly, they had many ways to kill. "Do you think you can escape from me just because you can fly?" Su Chen sneered and took out a red stone from his storage bag. It was the earth-fire meteor. Then, he suddenly exerted force and threw it at the fair-skinned man in the air. Su Chen's strength was so great after using the 100 times strength technique that the earth-fire meteorite left his hand. It was so fast that it caught up with the fair-skinned man in the blink of an eye. The fair-skinned man was shocked when he felt a ball of heat shooting at him from behind. He grabbed a knife and slashed it behind him. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. As soon as the saber came into contact with the earth vein fire meteorite, it was smashed into pieces. Not good. The moment the knife was smashed, the fair-skinned man felt a vigorous force crushing him. Before he could react, he was hit by the earth vein fire meteor. Amidst the crackling sounds of bones breaking, the fair-skinned man's bones shattered inch by inch, and he fainted on the spot. The earth vein fire meteorite then shot out a scarlet flame, which circled around the fair-skinned man and burned him to ashes. Chapter 349. Immediately after, the 10 fragments and the earth vein fire meteorite fell from the sky together. Seeing this, the corners of Su Chen's mouth curled up slightly, and a look of joy quietly appeared on his face. Not only did he get 10 fragments after killing the alien race, but the power of the earth vein fire meteorite had also been verified. Compared to the Big Dipper star fragment stone, the earth vein fire meteorite was more lethal. Later, Su Chen dashed forward happily, first put the earth vein fire meteorite into his storage bag, and then began to pick up the fragments. Picked up, A Step to Heaven, Fragment X1, 150. The fragments are not full and cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. After saying that, Su Chen opened the Doomsday Mall to check the exchange price of A Step to Heaven. When he saw that it was 5,000 energy points, the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. A Step to Heaven was very likely to be a technique, and its exchange price was similar to the Blade of Divine Sense. This proved that its value was very high. After calming himself down, Su Chen continued to pick up the fragments. The second fragment was also a purple fragment. Picked up 5 Elements Thunder Purgatory Formation, Fragment X1, 100. The fragments are not full and cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. The number of 100 fragments was comparable to the ancient god-fiend body. Moreover, the exchange points in the Doomsday Mall were also 10,000 energy points. 10,000 energy points was no small matter, and this could be verified by the ancient god-fiend body and heavenly hundredfold strength technique. After obtaining these 2 body tempering techniques, Su Chen's strength soared greatly, and killing an evolver who was 1 level higher than him was as easy as chopping vegetables. Therefore, he had some expectations for the 5 Elements Thunder Purgatory Formation. However, 10,000 energy points was not a small number, and there were still many things waiting to be exchanged. The 10,000 Lights 10 Shadows Killing Technique, the Illusionary Blazing Feather Divine Dragon, and the Time Accelerator were all things that he was determined to get. Even though he had gathered 10,000 energy points, that 5 Elements Thunder Purgatory Formation had to be slightly delayed. Seems like I'll have to collect more fragments. Su Chen sighed and picked up more fragments. The remaining fragments were not worth much, so he exchanged them all for energy points. After picking up the fragments, Su Chen and the others returned to the Intelligent War Chariot and continued their journey to Heaven-reaching City. Half an hour later, the Intelligent War Chariot appeared in front of Heaven-reaching City. Heaven Connect City has a population of 1 million and is known as the largest city on Thousand Feather Island. The first impression it gave was that it was majestic, tall, and gave off a heavy feeling. Since the MCV of other forces was not allowed to enter Tongtian City, Su Chen put the Intelligent Chariot and Mechanical Soldier into his storage bag. The 3 mutated wolves were placed in the pet-raising space. After paying the energy stones to enter the city, Su Chen and his group of 9 entered Heaven-reaching City. In the city, people were flowing, and there were many shops selling a variety of goods. It was much more complete than the Tiansong Plain Market. Yang Hao and the others were almost dazzled. They looked around, and their heads were like a rattle drum. Su Chen also kept looking around, looking at the lively scene around him. At this moment, he had an illusion that he had returned to the bustling metropolis of his previous life. Su Chen, where are we going next? Seeing that Su Chen was a little dazed, Tan Lin asked. Su Chen came back to his senses, pondered for a moment, and said, let's go to the Yulin shop first. The essence fruit tree and the earth star vein condensing stone had been bought by the Yulin shop. In order to prevent them from being sold to others, they must go to the Yulin shop as soon as possible. Chapter 350. After that, Su Chen asked someone to inquire about the Yulin shop. The Yulin shop was not the biggest shop in Tongtian City, but it was quite famous. Su Chen soon found out the specific location of the Yulin shop. The Yulin shop was located in the northern part of Tongtian City, which was divided into 4 districts. In addition to the northern part, there was also the eastern part, the southern part, and the western part. Su Chen's location was in the southern part of the city. If he walked to the northern part, it would take several hours. Fortunately, there was a special bus in Tongtian City, which was very convenient, just like the taxis in his previous life. However, this kind of bus was much smaller than the average bus. It could only seat 3 people at most. But as long as he had energy stones, the problem could be solved. Su Chen rented 3 buses in one go and went straight to the Yulin shop in the northern part of the city. Half an hour later, the 3 buses stopped in front of a tall building in the northern part of the city. The Yulin shop was on the first floor of the building. Su Chen paid the fare and entered the shop with the others. A waiter saw that Su Chen and the others had an extraordinary temperament, so he came up with a smile and greeted them. Hello, what can I do for you? Su Chen smiled and said, is your shopkeeper here? I have a big business to discuss. Hearing this, the waiter's eyes lit up and he smiled. Please wait a moment. I'll be back soon. Soon after the waiter left, he came back with a fat old man with a white beard. The fat old man came closer, looked at Su Chen and asked, Friends, I'm the shopkeeper of the Yulin shop. What business do you want to discuss with me? Su Chen went straight to the point. He took out the leaf of the essence fruit tree and put it in front of the fat old man. He said calmly, Today you bought a plant with this leaf in the Tiansong Plain. Is it still in your hands? I want to buy it. The price is negotiable. The fat old man looked at the leaf carefully and nodded slightly. We did buy this plant, but it has been sent to the auction. What auction? Su Chen frowned. Of course, it's the auction held in Skyspan City, the fat old man said in a natural manner. Can you take it back? I can pay several times the price, Su Chen probed. He had never participated in an auction before, but he knew what was going on. Anything that appeared in the auction could be obtained by whoever paid the highest price. He had a lot of energy stones on him, but once someone recognized a spiritual item like the essence fruit tree, they would definitely fight over it like crazy. Even if he could obtain the essence fruit tree in the end, he would have to spend a huge amount of energy stones. The fat old man was a little tempted, but he still sighed and said, The things sent to the auction can only be taken back after they have been auctioned. When will the auction be held? Where exactly is it? Su Chen asked in a deep voice. If the auction was still going to be held for a long time, he would consider whether or not he should snatch it back. After all, he had other things to do in Heaven Connect City. He couldn't keep waiting. The auction is in the center of the North City. It will be held tomorrow. The fat old man didn't hide anything. Su Chen nodded slightly. He could afford to wait for a day. Then, he took out the star-gathering stone and the earth star vein condensation stone and asked, Do you have these 2 ores here? We used to have them, but we don't have any now. The fat old man shook his head and smiled bitterly. He then explained, These ores containing the thunder attribute were all bought by the city lord's mansion. The black ores were also sent to the auction. *CK. Su Chen cursed inwardly. He then bid farewell to the fat old man and left the Jade Forest shop. Chapter 351. After exiting the Jade Forest shop, Su Chen and the others strolled around while looking for the location of the auction. The essence fruit tree and the earth star vein condensation stone had been sent to the auction, so he had to attend it tomorrow. Before that, He had to confirm the location of the auction. Half an hour later, the group arrived in front of an independent circular building. This building looked like a fortress. At this time, the door was closed, and there was a plaque on the door with the words, Heaven Connect City North City Auction, written on it. Suchen glanced at it and then looked away. The auction was to be held tomorrow, so they had to stay in Heaven Connect City for the night. Next, they began to look for a place to stay. There were many places to stay in Heaven Connect City. Some were like ancient inns, and some were like hotels in his previous life. The style was polar. Suchen chose a hotel called Haoyu that was close to the auction. After entering the inn, a waiter greeted them. Are you looking for a place to stay? Give me 3 rooms. Suchen nodded. There were 9 of them in total, and it was obviously not suitable for them to all squeeze into one room. 3 people to a room was not crowded, and they could look after each other. The waiter said, the ordinary rooms are already full, and now there are only 3 top-grade rooms left. However, the price is higher. Each room costs 20 ordinary energy stones. 20 energy stones was a sky-high price for an ordinary person. But for Suchen, it was not even a drop in the ocean. If he exchanged all the energy stones in his storage bag for ordinary energy stones, he would have more than 100,000 of them. A mere 20 energy stones was indeed not enough for him. 60 energy stones, all 3 rooms. Suchen grabbed a handful of energy stones and handed it to the waiter. The waiter counted the number, and when he found that there were 65 energy stones, he immediately smiled from ear to ear. He knew that the extra 5 energy stones were definitely for his consumption. Although it was only 5 energy stones, it was more than what he earned in a month of work. He had not met a rich tycoon like Suchen in a long time. Gentlemen, the luxurious rooms are on the top floor, please follow me. The waiter smiled and led the way. On the top floor, there were 3 connected rooms. Suchen, Yang Lingtian, and Wu Yang chose one room, Tan Lin and the other 2 girls shared one room, and Yang Hao and the other 2 girls shared one room. The room was very clean and tidy, and there were 3 wooden beds. Suchen chose a bed and laid down on it. Just as he was about to close his eyes and rest for a while, there was a knock on the door. Suchen released his spiritual force and scanned the room, only to see that the one who knocked on the door was the waiter, and behind him were 3 strong men. Suchen didn't know what the other party's intentions were. He frowned and walked to the door. He opened it and said coldly, "What's the matter?" The waiter said awkwardly, "Sir, can you give up your room? Someone is offering double the price." "Do I lack energy stones?" Suchen's face sank, and he snorted coldly. "Don't disturb me if there's nothing important." Just as he was about to close the door, a cold voice came from behind the waiter. "Brat, did I give you enough face? Your room is mine. If you know what's good for you, scram." Suchen rubbed his nose and smiled. "What if I don't? Do you know where we are from? If I tell you, you'll be scared to death. How dare you not?" The 3 strong men walked up, and one of them pushed the waiter to the side. He then stared at Suchen and snorted. "Let's hear it." Suchen was still unmoved. "We're from the Hidden Fog sect. Have you heard of us? Hurry up and get lost." The young man snorted arrogantly. The Hidden Fog sect was recognized as one of the top 3 factions in Yulin. From the young man's point of view, as long as he revealed the name of the Hidden Fog sect, Suchen would definitely be scared to death. Just a trash sect. Suchen's face was full of contempt as he sneered. "A few days ago, a few ants from the Hidden Fog sect were arrogant in front of me, and I casually squashed them to death. You 3 trash want to die?" Chapter 352. Hearing this, the waiter was stunned as he looked at Suchen in a daze. He sighed in his heart. "It's over. Why are you so stubborn?" Although this was not the territory of the Hidden Fog sect, the Hidden Fog sect was still a big sect. They had great influence even in Sky Connecting City. Humiliating the other party in front of him was the same as courting death. At this moment, the waiter had already regarded Suchen as a dead man. After all, The consequences of offending the Hidden Fog sect was not something an ordinary person could bear. Although Su Chen was rich in this world, money was not everything. The most important thing was strength. Only those who were strong had the right to be arrogant. Su Chen looked less than 20 years old, so he could not be that strong. The consequences of going against a strong person from the Hidden Fog sect could be imagined. You are courting death. The young man from the Hidden Fog sect was furious. He clenched his fist and threw it at Su Chen, vowing to kill Su Chen on the spot. He was a level 2 evolver. The moment he threw the punch, he exerted his strength to the extreme, setting off a violent aura. The waiter trembled. He could not bear to see Su Chen's miserable end, so he closed his eyes tightly. The corners of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly, and he instantly released his mental strength. Seeing that Su Chen did not dodge, the young man thought that Su Chen was scared out of his wits. A cruel smile appeared on the corner of his mouth as he laughed sinisterly. Go to hell. However, in the next moment, he suddenly felt that his body was entangled by an invisible force. He could not even blink his eyes, let alone kill Su Chen. Mental power. The young man's face changed drastically as this thought appeared in his mind. He clearly realized that the young man in front of him was most likely a spirit reader, and an abnormally strong one. Senior. Just as the young man was about to beg for mercy, his whole body quickly twisted. With the sound of bones breaking, he turned into a pile of meat paste. Seeing this scene, the other two people behind the young man were scared out of their wits. Cold sweat dripped down their backs. The two of them looked at each other, turned around, and fled. However, until now, no one had been able to escape from Su Chen's hands. Two loud bangs were heard. The two of them hadn't even taken a few steps before their heads exploded, and they died on the spot. After killing the three from the Hidden Fog sect, Su Chen turned to the waiter and said, "Clean this place up." With that, he returned to his room and closed the door. The waiter was a little confused when he heard someone talking to him. This was because he clearly heard that the person who spoke was a young man whom he thought was a nouveau riche. What was going on? Shouldn't he have been killed? Could it be that the Hidden Fog sect was kind enough to let him go? However, what was with those explosive sounds? With confusion in his heart, the waiter slowly opened his eyes. When he saw the two headless bodies and the pile of meat on the ground, his heart stopped beating. Without a doubt, the three dead people were from the Hidden Fog sect. As for how he died, he must have been killed by that rich young man. Oh my God! Was he really that strong? And he really dared to kill the Hidden Fog sect's people. The waiter was shocked. After being stunned for a while, he turned around and ran downstairs. The Hidden Fog sect's people were not small fries, and three of them had died at once. This was a serious problem. It was so serious that it was unimaginable. If he didn't report it in time, he might even lose his life. Chapter 353. Su Chen lay back on the bed and closed his eyes. Would the Hidden Fog sect come for revenge? He didn't care at all. As long as they dared to come, no matter how many of them there were, he would kill them all. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian also didn't care. They had seen this kind of thing many times, so they weren't surprised. 10 minutes later, the sound of footsteps could be heard outside the room again. As it approached, a man's angry roar could be heard. Who is the impatient thing that dares to kill the people of the Hidden Fog sect? Come out and die. Su Chen snorted, got up and came to the door. The moment the door was opened, he saw that the corridor was full of people. There were at least 30 or 40 of them, and each of them looked fierce. They looked at Su Chen with anger. Yang Hao and the others heard the noise and came out of the room, gathering around Su Chen. Boy, did you kill them? On the opposite side, an old man with a face like tree bark glanced at Su Chen and asked coldly. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently, I did kill those three trash. Seeing Su Chen's fearless look, the old man was furious. Killing the people of the Hidden Fog sect is a heinous crime. Are you going to kill yourself or force me to do it? CKU. How can you talk to Chenggu like that? Chao Ran couldn't help but curse. Xianxia also snorted with disdain. Old man, if you dare to disrespect Chingu again, I will smash you to death with my hammer. Presumptuous. Next to the old man with bark, a middle-aged man wearing white armor roared. Then he pointed at Xianxia and Chao ran and scolded, "You two blind things, do you know who he is? He is Elder Tong Chuan of the Hidden Fog sect. Elder Tong Chuan is a level 3 evolver. He has a high position in the Hidden Mist sect. Kneel down and apologize." Xianxia and Chao Ran curled their lips and looked at Su Chen. The two of them might not be able to deal with a level 3 evolver, but in Su Chen's eyes, wasn't he just an ant? Did a level 3 evolver have the qualifications to act like a big shot in front of Su Chen? Su Chen coughed lightly and said sarcastically, "Even the venerable carving dragon of the Hidden Fog sect is trash in my eyes. Who do you think you are?" As soon as he said that, the entire corridor fell into a strange silence. The people from the Hidden Fog sect were dumbfounded. The waiters who came with them were even more dumbfounded. Su Chen's words were too arrogant. Too arrogant. As a level 4 evolver, Venerable Carving Dragon was a famous expert in Yulin. Who would have thought that in Su Chen's eyes, they would become trash? Could it be that he had met a madman? He did not even put the Venerable Dragon carving in his eyes. Did he think that he was a level 5 evolutionary? Even a level 5 evolver wouldn't dare to boast so shamelessly, right? Tong Chuan gritted his teeth fiercely. His anger had reached its peak. Since he joined the Hidden Fog sect, when had he ever been humiliated in front of his face? Moreover, it was a few young people who had humiliated him. He couldn't stand it anymore. Finally, Tong Chuan's anger was completely ignited. He roared, "Kill them!" Suddenly, a few people rushed out from behind him and rushed towards Su Chen. "You're overestimating yourselves." Su Chen snorted coldly and punched out. The berserk strength chi was like a vast ocean, sweeping forward. There was a loud explosion. The few people who rushed over first were directly blasted into smithereens. Level 4 evolver. Tong Chuan's eyes widened. He was so scared that he almost peed his pants. The middle-aged man in white armor next to him trembled and begged for mercy. "Senior, I'm from Tongtian City. Please show mercy." Facing a level 4 evolver, he knew that even if all of them worked together, they wouldn't be a match for him. If he wanted to live, he could only beg for Su Chen's forgiveness. Chapter 354. Su Chen didn't care which force it was. Once he had the intention to kill, he would never hold back. He slashed forward with the enchanted divine saber, and a huge gray wind blade swept over. A series of heart-wrenching screams reverberated in the corridor. When the screams stopped, the corridor was covered with minced meat. Except for the waiter, all the people from the Hidden Fog sect and Sky-reaching city were killed on the spot. The waiter looked at the purgatory-like corridor and couldn't help but tremble. He was just an ordinary person. When had he ever seen such a bloody scene? At this moment, his breathing stopped, and his whole person seemed to be petrified. "Let's go. We can't stay here anymore. Let's go somewhere else." Su Chen shook his head and walked straight out. The corridor was full of the strong smell of blood, which seriously affected the mood of the hotel. He didn't want to stay here any longer. Walking out of the Haoyu Hotel, Su Chen found a remote corner and took out the intelligent war vehicle. After the previous disturbance, the people from Sky-reaching city and the Hidden Fog sect would definitely not let it go. It was not safe to continue staying in the hotel. Therefore, he planned to rest in the intelligent war vehicle for the night. However, Sky-reaching city had a rule that the minibuses of other forces were not allowed to enter. Su Chen openly took out the intelligent war vehicle, which was undoubtedly a challenge to the dignity of Sky-reaching city. But so what? He had killed the people of Sky-reaching city. Why would he care about the rules? If the people of Sky-reaching city didn't know what was good for them and dared to cause trouble, at worst, he would kill them like in King Kong City. After the intelligent war vehicle became more than 20 meters long, Su Chen and the others entered the vehicle one by one. Although the location he chose was relatively remote, it still attracted the attention of passers-by. Many people surrounded the intelligent war vehicle and pointed at it. This MCV is so beautiful. Who is so rich? How can there be such a big MCV? What's the use of being beautiful? Doesn't he know that sky-reaching city doesn't allow other MCV to enter? This guy is going to be unlucky. That's right. This guy is crazy enough to drive a MCV here. Let's teach him a lesson. Su Chen was annoyed by the noise outside. He opened the car door and shouted, "What's there to see? Get out of my way." As soon as these words came out, it immediately caused a wave of public anger. Mother Ker, this is Heaven Connect City. Why are you so arrogant? Do you think Heaven Connect City is your home? So what if we just take a look? Do you dare to hit us? Anyone who dared to make a move in Heaven Connect City would definitely receive the harshest punishment. If things went wrong, they might even lose their lives. Therefore, in the face of Su Chen's threat, the onlookers turned a deaf ear and even began to curse Su Chen. A burly man with a face full of pockmarks pointed at Su Chen's nose and said coldly, "Kid, who do you think you are? I won't leave. What can you do to me? Come and bite me if you dare." Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed. He knew that if he didn't make an example of this guy, these guys wouldn't leave. "I don't dare to bite you, but I dare to kill you." After a cold snort, Su Chen released his spiritual force and directly crushed the man with pockmarks into a pile of meat paste. F***ck. He really dares to kill someone. How did he do it? I didn't see him do it at all. Stop talking. Let's run. This guy is too ruthless. Seeing Su Chen kill without any scruples, the onlookers were scared out of their wits and ran away without a trace. You're tuning in to the Wandering Hero YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.